Hello! Hi! Whoops, I should have hidden that. There we go! Got two cameras today. You can You don't have to be able to hear me. I'm joined by my friend Katrina here, you guys. There's Katrina. I've got two cameras today because I'm going to be working on some artwork over here on the desk. That's what that's for. But in the meantime, I think I'm gonna hide it because you don't need to see me twice. That's fine. There. Okay, anyway, we're gonna be talking about rare diseases today. As I have one. Two, three. Shit. I've got three of them.
I also have one.
Yep, my friend Katrina here also has them. Do you want to be on camera? You don't have to be, but I can probably fit us both in here. If I wang jangle it enough. Hello. Hold up, we'll make this work somehow. Wait, I know what to do. We'll just switch cameras. Hold up. Technical difficulties. The diseases has given you stripes on your cheek. Yes, we will talk about that here in just a second. Okay, I just gotta get this camera over here. Oh, this one here. Switch it up. Come on, friend. I'm trying to, but man, it's not wanting to cooperate. It's seeing you front and center. Oh, you know what? This'll work. I'll just have you over here. And I'll be over here and on the other one. Yeah, how's that? Cool. Okay, so hi everybody. I am Sunny, otherwise known as Insomnia Doodles. This is usually where I stream art and stuff, but today we're going to be talking about other fun stuff. Because today is Rare Disease Day. Now, to answer Quiet Mint's comment about my stripy cheeks, the reason for my stripes today are the theme of Rare Disease Day for 2019, which is hashtag show your stripes. Or share your rare, whatever you want to call it. Oh, it's under your foot. My cords are everywhere. So the stripes actually represent something that we like to call other fun stuff. Yeah. The stripes come from what we like to call ourselves in the rare disorders community, zebras, because of the thing that medical doctors are taught in school. I believe here I've actually got a really nice article that I can share about that.
Think about horses.
I don't know if they can hear you very well. Can you guys hear Katrina okay? I only have this microphone, so it's we're trying to share. Here, actually, you know what? Here you go, Katrina. I'll hand it over to you. You go for it.
When people go to medical school and become doctors, they usually say, look at people as horses, try to figure out people. Like,
This is the saying.
Yeah, it's a saying.
When you hear hoof prints, think
Yeah.
horses, not zebras.
But when people are like me, I wasn't diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and postural orthostatic tachycardia.
Who the what now?
Yeah, I know. Until I was around 13, 15. So I had a lot of stuff going on, and my mom has muscular dystrophy, so that's how we got into actually finding out what I had. And my brother has the same thing I do, but with gladly we don't have the muscular dystrophy that my mom has. So
That would stink on top of all that.
yes, it would have been even worse. But I have fibromyalgia too, which causes more pain on top with my EDS, with my dislocations and subflexions. So
And we will get into all that fun stuff.
yes.
'Cause we are going to be talking, we're going to focus on that background.
Yep.
Thank you. We're going to be focusing on my conditions and her conditions, as well as some others too. Hopefully we're going to get some more people in here to kind of talk about what conditions they have. But anyway, that whole zebra thing, so I've got stripes on my face. You're welcome for that explanation. So to start things off, I actually have some videos prepared from the Rare Disease Day website. So every year on February 28th, we celebrate Rare Disease Day. And this is a chance to kind of help spread awareness about certain conditions that you might not have heard about before. Let people know that people like us exist. Because believe it or not, there are people out there that have no idea that chronic illness is a thing.
It's hard. It's hard to think about young people and old that has certain things wrong with them. That's why people say, like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's invisible.
Yes, yeah, invisible because you can't see it with the naked eye, but like lab tests will reveal it. Hey, guess what I have? I have a mic. I might be able to set this up for us. If you guys will bear with me for a second, I'll set this up while I'm playing some videos for you guys. These are from the Rare Disease Day website. Oh yeah, well, the Mighty actually. I have an article, I have a video from the Mighty and an article that I'm going to read. But we're going to start things off with a really neat, informative video. This kind of explains the stripes thing. There's the thing that I need.
For EDS, it's usually just the black and white.
Oh, for your symbol?
Yes. And then fibromyalgia is like ribbon, or it just the people.
Yeah, each one, like actually congenital panhypopituitarism has a butterfly. It looks like a CPHP. It's handy. It's kind of neat. Anyway, I'm gonna work on this. You can't see what I'm doing because I covered up the camera, but I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna mute the music first. Where'd my gosh darn music go? There it is. Pause that. And I'm gonna crank up the volume. I'm gonna mute my microphone while I get this other microphone set up and let you guys watch this video. It's very good.
It's that time. That rare time. Time to join our team. Time to show us your rare face. Your Let's Defeat This face. Rare is more than 300 million people, 6,000 different diseases. Looks like Rare's not. Comes in all ages, all colours.
Oh, there we go. I fixed it. Okay, sorry about that. Finally got this other microphone set up. I had to restart Chrome. I'm gonna have to restart that video. Sorry, guys. But we'll get there. Okay, let's try this again. But now that I have this microphone here set up, we should both be able to talk.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna play that video now. Why are you not playing? I don't know why Chrome audio isn't working now. It was working just fine. You guys heard it, right? Like, you could hear the video audio. Let me restart voice meter. Okay, testing. Okay, we can hear ourselves. See if this will work now. Why is try a different video? Still no audio. What the heck's going on here? Okay. I don't know what to do. Practice again, I guess. Let's go to find a different random video, see if it'll play. I apologize, guys.
Excitement says, I want to snuggle that kitty.
Which kitty? You talk about Dova? Oh, probably. Yeah, I imagine. There are also kitties at the bottom of the screen. Also, want to be musical? Hi! I'm sorry there was no audio, working on fixing some issues. Troubleshooting. In the meantime, Katrina, you want to talk about what EDS is?
Okay, well, EDS is pretty much
What's it short for?
Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's pretty much when your collagen, which is the makeup of your body, hair, skin, nails, pretty much your organs. I have problems with my joints because that's a connective tissue, pretty much connective tissue disorder. I have healthy nails, but they also are very brittle. I have a hole in my retina in my left eye, and my hair falls out a lot. And I get joint pain on top with my EDS. I have fibromyalgia, so it's even worse. So I have to have braces for my ankles especially. My knees are what we call bowed, because they go back because my knees are hyperextended, and I can pop my pretty much everything out of place. So they either subflexion, which is like almost popping out of place and like hurting yourself almost, but like the popping like in and out. I'm 22. When I was in middle school and high school, it was really painful, and it just think of a rubber band and you stretch it. Regular people, it goes back in place. But us, if you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, it doesn't go back. So that connective tissue, collagen, it's the makeup of the body, so it's pretty much everywhere. I'm glad that I only have the type 2, which is the good case. You don't have anything else wrong with your body. It's that, like, the joints, stuff like that.
We have music now. Hold on, is it finally working? Okay, weird.
Yeah.
I was setting up Internet Explorer because I'm thinking, well, Chrome's not going to work for us.
I can look normal and act normal.
And now,
Always gonna work.
Now it works. Okay, whatever. All right. I guess Chrome got its shit together.
Nope.
Oh, shoot. I forgot I have this stream set as family friendly today, so I shouldn't say the word eaters. Sorry, guys. But anyway, I guess we're back on track.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if I didn't mean
It's
to
okay.
interrupt. But did you got it covered?
Yep.
All right.
Pretty good. I mean,
We'll talk more about EDS
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch some videos. It'll explain it. Okay, back to the Rare Disease Day video. Let's try this again. We don't have any viewers. Maybe we should wait until we actually have some people. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess the stream archive's still gonna be there anyway.
mhm.
So we can go ahead and
Yep.
start watching. Okay. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. I think they're done now.
It's that time. That rare time. Time to join our team. Time to show us your rare face. Your Let's Defeat This face. Rare is more than 300 million people, 6,000 different diseases. Looks like rare's not so rare. Rare comes in all ages, all colours, all shapes, all sizes. It's time to rare up. Get your rare on. Show your rare. A never back down kind of rare. Come out on top rare. It's rare up time. Never give up time. Shine your light time. With your help, we can raise awareness and increase support for those who face the challenges of living with a rare disease every day. Follow the stories of Carlo, Philippe and Lorena to hear what they have to say about living with a rare disease. Show you're rare. Show you care.
I forgot the microphone is muted. I apologize. Thank you, Ryan. I'm sorry. Okay, we weren't really saying anything special. Just saying I'm gonna make a quick Facebook post, let more people know that we're live. But, and then, yeah, there's that. Go on, as you were saying.
With people with Ehlers-Danlos and a lot of other diseases, people will have to have colostomy bags, a feeding tube put in their stomach, a lot of POTS.
What's
what I
POTS?
have postural orthostatic tachycardia.
It's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. Over the years, I learned to just call it POTS instead.
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
just completely like blurting the whole thing out. But some doctors don't really know. But gladly, a lot of my doctors and even my dentist knows what it is, and they can treat me.
Your dentist knows?
Yes, he does.
That's handy.
My old dentist that I grew up with,
Hey everybody.
he had to actually look it up and figure out how to treat us, because we were a very good case, because with the healing aspect with my EDS, we didn't heal very good. So he had when he did surgery on us, me and my brother had braces growing up. So we had some just minor surgeries to fix our teeth, because we had messed up teeth, and I don't know if that's
I'm living
just,
that life.
I don't know if that's just because of like genetics or something happened, but we had really crooked teeth.
You can say ass. Ass is a family-friendly word.
So we had to deal with a lot of different surgeries because he was like, I wonder how we can make him heal faster. So instead of stitching inside and gluing outside, when I had my muscle biopsy to see if I had muscular dystrophy.
Oh, that sounds so
the surgeon I had didn't know about it. Like, even though that we knew at the time, he didn't really think anything about it when he was doing it. So it opened up, like, it took forever to heal because he stitched it inside and glued it outside. That is not a good way to deal with a patient like us.
And what about your condition makes that such a bad thing?
We have to have it together at all times. Now there's multiple ways of doing stuff, but keeping the muscle, the fatty tissue, and the different parts of the skin, you have to have it really good closed, or we just break apart because we don't heal very good.
Yeah, and was that from the EDS or the POTS?
Yes.
Okay.
The POTS is it's when your heart doesn't pump enough blood to your brain. So in like the flight scenarios, we just pass out because
the adrenals?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, or is it your heart palpitations?
It's the palpitations and
gotcha.
fluttering and stuff. So taking medicine helps.
Yeah. Good. That's
keep it stable.
I'm glad there's treatment for it.
Yeah. But me being like a young adult now, I've learned to like know what not to do, how to deal with it when I'm in a situation like getting blood work done.
Man, you've told me some horror stories
Yes.
about your blood work.
Yes.
You want to talk about what that's like just a little bit? I don't want to derail you too much, but
it's okay.
it's something that a lot of people don't really think about when they don't have to go
Yes.
through this.
We usually have to lay down, have our legs up, as much, get enough blood pooling to our heart so it can actually go to our brains. If we're sitting like this, blood pools down to our legs because there's not enough oxygen rotating through the body, helping the blood circulate.
Wow.
So when I was like 13, I got my ears pierced for the first time, and that was when we didn't know about anything happening to us. And I passed out after. I was getting up, getting ready to pay, and I hit my head right into the jewelry case.
Oh man.
It's one of those wooden ones with the glass inserts, and my mom thought my brother and I was screwing around. No.
Oh.
No.
Thought that
No.
he accidentally hurt you?
No. She, it's, you kind of, your eyes and your vision start, like, getting a little hazy and black, and it, like, tunnel vision, and then you can hear everything, but you're so, like, so tired, you just can't talk.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Like you kind of feel like you're underwater almost.
Yeah.
I know that sensation.
But my
it's so hard to concentrate.
Yes.
Yeah.
My blood pressure plummets.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels so bad after but you go white, you go pale, your lips go blue. As people tell me.
Yeah, you wouldn't know in that moment, I guess.
Yeah, like a month and a half ago, I had to get blood work done, and I tried, but I'm like, just go ahead and do it while I was sitting, and I really need to start working on, like, hey, I really need to lay down.
Yeah,
even though it's gonna
advocate for yourself.
Yes, even though it's gonna take longer, especially in the mornings for fasting. Fasting is the worst because I can't drink enough water to help with the condition. So when you have POTS, you have to stay very hydrated. I think it's 69 ounces.
It's a lot of water.
Yes, and
Whew,
you have to increase.
I think
your
I drink
salt
that much
intake.
coffee in an hour ago. I'm just kidding.
I like ice cold water because it helps with my hot flashes.
Okay.
I don't know what the word for it is, but it's when your body can't like handle the temperature.
Oh, like heat or cold intolerance?
Yes.
Yeah.
My body just doesn't know how to do it, so.
Sure, yeah, like it doesn't regulate its own body
Yes.
temperature very well.
Yes.
Okay.
So sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's like real bad, especially in the summer.
Man, I get bad in the summer
Yes,
too.
that's why I try to stay out of. I become like a little bear, like.
You hibernate?
Yes, I hibernate during the summer.
Man, I do it during the hot months of the summer
Yeah.
and during the winter
Yeah.
because both really exacerbate my symptoms too with my conditions.
Yes.
Yeah. But we're talking about EDS. Whenever I've got those videos.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Like.
I didn't know.
Can I finish what
No.
I was saying?
I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm
My
kidding. Go on.
my mom has muscular dystrophy, and it's
I'm gonna get more
one
coffee.
of the rarest forms of it. It's called central core disease, and she has the temperature regulating thing even worse than I do. Their house right now, we're in Indiana, so we're still in winter. So we're still in winter, but she keeps her house around 68, about 69. So
nice.
yes, that's
Get it?
like
That's the sex number.
that's like the perfect temp for her. But of course my dad is like always covered up and stuff. And,
Sure.
But
yeah.
but my mom has like 3 cats and 2 dogs, so they've kind of got used to it. So, but yeah, let's watch the videos about
Yeah.
EDS.
Well, before I do, I want to read the chat really
Oh.
quick. Ryan earlier said, "I just remembered something. I'm afraid I might be autistic. Never got that checked. And autism isn't rare, I don't think. Just random anxiety. I remember I had. I mean, yeah, a lot of. I mean, anxiety's a spectrum.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, autism is a spectrum.
Yeah.
So you very well could
I mean, and
have autism.
any type of thing that we're talking about, it's pretty much being on a spectrum with your symptoms.
Well, some more than others.
Yes.
I mean, actually, the symptom. I think that what you mean to say is the symptoms are so vague. They kind of overlap with
Yes,
other
they do.
conditions. Yes, for sure.
I mean, one of our friends, mutual friends, she has the same thing I do.
Carlotta,
Yes.
you guys know her as Void.
Yes.
Yes.
She has the same thing I do, but she has it worse, because I don't know if she wants me to talk about it or not, so.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about EDS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She actually talked about her other condition on my stream just a couple of days ago. The HS.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
and my mom also has that.
Ooh. Man, that's
And
that
it's-
stuff. It
it's
sounds
pretty
like
mu-
it sucks.
Yes.
Ass.
It does, and it's very painful, and that's when, the sweaty glands, so like under your armpits, between your legs, on your folds if you're overweight, and your folds of your diaphragm and stuff.
Man, yeah, you can get like infected bad.
Yes, and it stinks if they are infected.
Like
or like
really
boils.
stinks, or stinks as in it sucks.
Well, both.
Words are hard.
Both.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I have like a little bit of it, but not like too bad. I think it's just because how my skin is. It's very sensitive. So like down there during the month and
Shark Week.
yes.
Yeah.
And in the summer when it's really hot out and very sweaty, those clogged pores and the sweat glands get inflamed, get infected, and becomes like a boil or just like it's a very bad condition to have.
Do you know, I know it's HS, but do you know what that stands for?
Very long word.
Oh, yeah, it is a very long word.
Yes,
if we can get Carlette
yeah.
on here later, she can explain it better. But I do have this video here to show you. I'm gonna mute the music or pause it for a minute. Alright, Chrome, don't fail me now. This is a really good video done by the Mighty. I'm going to mute our microphones. So you're not gonna hear us.
Blah 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 blah.
You're not gonna hear us, but you will hear the video. Okay. Here we go.
I can look normal and act normal. It seems to be that they think it's just cool that you're really bendy. I'm living with hypermobile
Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I experience pain in my joints because of my lax ligaments.
So I had labral tears, repeat tears, even after surgery to repair.
The joints are not holding my body together, so then the muscles have to do work that they're not supposed to be doing.
I also have other misalignments like my jaw.
So then they spasm. I also get bone pain.
My collagen is made defectively.
I also have pain in my neck.
I think it's just part of the defective collagen. And then nerve pain.
My joints are overly flexible.
It's like a typical muscle knot.
Sometimes it feels like stabbing.
It feels like I'm stuck and I need to crack or snap myself.
Burning, sort of cramping.
Sometimes it feels like squeezing.
It's kind of a stabbing, stuck.
A shooting, like a zap, stab.
And sometimes I just feel off.
I don't use my cane every day, but I'm walking with a cane. And if a friend says, "How are you doing?" and I say, "Good." But they see the cane and start feeling sorry for me, just to trust that if I say I'm good and I'm here interacting, I'm good.
It doesn't actually go away. I appreciate when people ask, "How are you feeling?" But the answer is always going to be the same for me.
It can happen to anyone. Maybe your friend, all of a sudden got this thing and now they aren't really going and doing the activities that you used to do with them, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want to accommodate to their pain or whatever's going on.
It's not that I want pity, just an understanding that if I say I can't make it somewhere, I'm not just being a flake. It's because I really, really can't.
It's not that we have a low tolerance to pain. A lot of us have a very high tolerance to pain. It's just that our pain is so very high.
There's many different types of EDS, and each person's experience varies, even though it is genetic. I think that's the big misconception, is that if you don't fit this guideline, you don't have it.
It's really important for people with chronic pain or EDS to listen to themselves, listen to their bodies. If you feel like you need more help, to push for it, to advocate for yourself.
Do your own research. It's good to know the underlying problem and cause before rushing to have surgeries and thinking that that's the best solution when maybe it's not.
I think living in pain can be very challenging, but at the same time, it can be very beautiful. It can make you pay attention to things that you might not have noticed otherwise, and it makes you appreciate the people who stick around for the good times and the tough times and all the times.
I just love that video.
It is a very good video. Yes. I think that explains it really, really well. Yep. So, yeah, that's EDS. I think they covered it a lot better than we ever could.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they said, it differs for everybody.
Yeah.
My brother has it, but he doesn't have as much pain as I do, much like joint pain and stuff. But he has a lot of back pain because he broke his back when he was a teenager.
Ooh.
So, but it's healed. It's okay, but he still has that lingering pain throughout.
It makes sense. Yeah. I'm sure that does make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing about having chronic conditions and then having to deal with acute things on top of that, too.
Yeah,
It's like
and being so young, I think that's my worst fear is like being out in public, and being seen like pulling into the handicap spot.
Yeah, because people don't see it. It's
Yes,
invisible
I
illness,
feel
don't
like they
understand.
see my being overweight. It's been a very big struggle for me to lose weight because I am in pain, and I have to eat and drink certain things, drink a lot of water.
Sure, yeah.
So it's just like it messes with my depression also, and it
Yeah, I mean, the
It's-
symptoms exacerbate symptoms
Yes.
for conditions like this,
Yep.
for sure. And Brian said, I saw a dude with EDS on Stanley's Superhumans. I think I
Yep.
saw that episode.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that wasn't the guy a performer?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think he explained in the episode that doing those performances really screwed him up in the end.
Yes.
It did a lot of damage.
In like the 1800s or like long time ago.
When we had the freak shows.
Yes.
Where
Freak
I'd be
shows,
hanging out, just saying.
circuses, stuff like that. Like people that like climb in boxes. Pretty much that's what EDS.
A lot of those people would have EDS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or was like trained since they were a little kid and then like became that flexible.
Mm.
I'm pretty flexible being overweight. But like that's with my EDS too. I mean, I can fall. I fell a year ago in my grandma's kitchen, and if I didn't have EDS, I probably would have broke my leg.
Wow,
Because-
so it kind of saved you a little bit
Yes.
then.
It saves you.
It's a love-hate relationship,
Yes,
EDS.
it is a very love-hate relationship. It is.
Mm. Well, we've talked a lot about your EDS and your
Yep.
POTS.
Yep. Let's talk about what you have.
Yeah, let's talk about my conditions. I actually prepared a video for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and play that. So I'll pause this music again. Because I'm gonna just like trip all over myself if I try to explain it in person. But
Yeah.
I have a video that I edited.
With
so we're
our
good.
with our
Brain
fog, it gets bad, and
Actually, I'm not too foggy today, so thank goodness. But still,
I'm
mean,
always foggy because of my brain thing. So
my brain fog usually flares up when my cortisol's really low or when my thyroid's off.
Yeah.
That's when it gets the worst for me.
Yeah.
Or if I'm going through an acute illness.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my video. Hey everybody, Sunny here. Today is Rare Disease Day. So that means I get to get involved in the Rare Disease Day antics that happen every year. And this year, it's Show Your Stripes. So, I'm going to do that. I'm going to tell you about my conditions. I've got umbrella term of a condition called septo-optic dysplasia, which is a malformation of the midline of the brain. My optic nerve is deformed, my pituitary gland didn't develop properly, and I never even developed the septum pellucidum, which is the membrane that kind of sits between the two halves of the brain. Doesn't really do much to affect me, that part, but the other two really affect my life in a multitude of different ways. So, I guess I'll talk about those. So here's my stripe for septo-optic dysplasia, right there. That's the umbrella term that I just explained. Next up, that caused, because my pituitary gland is messed up, panhypopituitarism. And that pretty much means that my pituitary gland doesn't function properly, so my body doesn't make any of the hormones necessary for survival. I do take pills lots of them, every day to replace those missing hormones. But treatment isn't really a cure, and it's not necessarily perfect either. Well, not even close to perfect. I wouldn't even say not necessarily perfect. It's not great. Because it tries to kind of mimic what your body would normally secrete, but taking pills is nothing compared to the body's normal secretion throughout the day. So because of that, I deal with a lot of symptoms throughout my day that affect, my ability to work, for instance. I'm unable to work. I did try. Wound up in the hospital, but I tried. It was fun. Anyway, because of that, panhypopituitarism has caused adrenal insufficiency, which can be fatal. This is a condition by itself. My cat's trying to get paint on her fur. Anyway, adrenal insufficiency. Back on track, Sunny. That can be a condition all on its own. There are two different forms. There's primary adrenal insufficiency, which is caused by an autoimmune disease called Addison's disease. But what I have is secondary adrenal insufficiency, which is when the pituitary gland itself isn't sending any signals to the adrenal glands to produce the hormone cortisol, among other things, which kind of helps regulate blood pressure and other bodily functions that are, important for basic survival. And if not treated properly or during cases of intense stress, it can actually lead to something called an adrenal crisis, which can be fatal. I've had 2 of those. Luckily, I got great care. Well, had to go to another ER the second time because the first one didn't know what they were doing, but that's something that you deal with when you have a rare disorder. Anyway, the point is I'm alive and that's great. So, it caused adrenal insufficiency. I can talk a little bit more about that on the stream, but for now, I'll go on to the other things. I've got so much to cover here. Next up, hypothyroidism. Because my pituitary gland isn't sending signals to the rest of my endocrine system, my thyroid gland doesn't know what to do. I have a small thyroid gland anyway, for whatever reason. But my thyroid's low, so I have to take the thyroid meds to kind of make up for that. I'm also hypogonad, which means I don't make the sexual hormones that are important, not just for libido, but for, regular, feminine health down there. I wouldn't have a period if I didn't take my estradiol and my medroxyprogesterone every day in a monthly cycle. That's really complicated. But hey, I've got it taken care of thanks to great endocrinologists. Also caused adult growth hormone deficiency, which I actually have to take a shot for every day. Got my handy dandy Sharps container right here. Yep, got my needles on hand. 1 shot a day. Luckily the needles are really small, so it really doesn't hurt all that bad. And I'm used to it. I've been taking it for like 3 years now. But that kind of helps with cell regrowth. A lot of doctors actually still don't understand that adults really need the growth hormone. There's like this misconception that only children need it when they're developing, but studies have actually proven that adults still need it. Like I said, for cell regrowth and redistribution of fat throughout the body. If you are if you don't have enough growth hormone, your fat can kind of sit around the waist and make you look pregnant. No, it doesn't really look all that flattering. It also likes to sit around other parts of the body that aren't all that flattering. So taking the growth hormone shots help with energy levels. It helps with if you don't have the shots, if you're deficient, it can cause muscle weakness, brain fog, which is all up in the air for me anyway. It can be a lot worse if you're growth hormone deficient. Anyway, let's see here. I covered hypothyroidism, adrenal insufficiency, hypogonadism, adult growth hormone deficiency. What else is there? Other hormones could be deficient, but they're not really treated on a regular basis. I hope more research is done on that because my pituitary gland covers a lot more than just those hormones that I'm being treated for. And since those aren't being secreted, I know that I'm not making the other stuff. Don't know how much that's affecting me, but like I said, can't work, so maybe there's something to that. But all that aside, the third thing, optic nerve hypoplasia. Where am I gonna put this? There we go. Yeah. Optic nerve hypoplasia. That's the malformation of my optic nerve. And it's, like I said, it's a complication of the septo-optic dysplasia, so it's part of all of my conditions. But, basically, what that has done to me is I don't have peripheral vision at all. I can't even see my, well, I'm looking at the video, but I can't even see my fingers right here on the side of my face. I've got, like, I did a vision, one of those vision tests that show you a field of vision test, whatever it's called. But, like, here's the circle. Most people see the whole circle. Half of that, for me, was completely gone. I don't have that vision. And what little vision I do have is really impacted by this twitching that my eye does. My eyes have to work very hard to focus on things. I'll show you. I'm getting paint all over the place. But if I look to the left all the way or to the right, you can really see it twitching. Yeah. Imagine how hard it is to focus your eyes when they're doing that all the time. That can cause a lot of headaches. Makes it hard for me to read, unfortunately, so audiobooks are my friend. But that's another reason why when I do stream on Twitch, I have to stop for after a couple of hours to let my eyes rest, because all that twitching and having to try to focus really causes nasty headaches. The really cool thing, though, because of that peripheral vision loss, I've got these glasses called Chadwick lenses that were designed to help kind of bring in, isn't that neat? Kind of bring in some of that vision that I've lost. It's not focused at all. It's really blurry, but it allows me to see things moving on my sides that I normally wouldn't see. So, like, if I'm walking down the street and I gotta cross the road, a car comes out of nowhere, I might see it when I otherwise would not. You know, kind of save my life a little bit. So, but all that stuff aside, I'll talk a lot more in depth about it during the stream that I'm having today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm hoping. Okay, so you guys obviously already know that I'm streaming, so I don't need to play the plug. But yeah, that was that, and Ryan, in response to your comment, so lazy, made a video instead of chatting about it. Damn straight, yeah. Okay. I'll admit to it.
It's easier.
It's easier.
I mean, you were gonna make it for your...
Yeah, I wanted to make a video anyway for Rare Disease Day, to share it with people that might not make it to the stream, kind of advertise that I was having the stream. So that's what that was for. But no, I'm also very lazy.
Yeah. Us people that has chronic fatigue or chronic illnesses.
Yeah, let's talk about that fatigue.
It's
There's a video for this. While you're talking about it, I'm gonna bring up the video.
I have chronic fatigue from being in pain all the time. Like it does not stop. So
I believe it. Yeah.
Yes.
The Mighty, the ones that did the EDS video that we watched earlier, did another really great video talking about the difference between chronic fatigue and tiredness.
Yes.
And
I love
versus
this video.
tiredness. It's a very good video, and I'm gonna play that here in just a second. But first, I'm gonna explain the fatigue, and then you can explain yours after. The fatigue that I experience comes from my adrenal insufficiency, which I didn't really get into in my video very much. I talked about it a little bit, but throughout the day, a normal person's body secretes cortisol, which is the stress hormone, that's what it's called. But really what that does is it regulates your blood pressure and bodily functions that are, crucial for being alive. Mm-hmm. And in the case of somebody with adrenal insufficiency, whether it's from Addison's disease or secondary adrenal insufficiency in my case, if your cortisol is really low, you run the risk of having an adrenal crisis, which can lead to coma and then death if not treated properly. Now, in between being perfectly healthy and being dead, there's this little place where the
right
cortisol,
in the middle.
where the cortisol could be off balance, and that can cause symptoms such as dizziness, weakness, the fatigue is a big one. So that's where I experience a lot of my fatigue. I can also experience it from my hypothyroidism, if my thyroid's off, or even from my gonadotropin deficiency, if my estrogen and progesterone are wonky, which they frequently are.
Yeah.
Or if my growth hormone's screwed up. Any sort of hormonal imbalance can cause this fatigue in my case. And you, how's that do?
For me, it like I said, my chronic fatigue is just fatigue.
Explain it better, because normal people don't get it. Normal. Neurotypical, that's the better word to use.
My grandma has chronic fatigue. And I asked her, what's the difference between my fatigue and your fatigue? And she's like, well, your fatigue is from being in pain, a certain amount of pain all the time. It's not like all over the place.
Yeah, call back to the EDS video, like how they had the paint.
Yes.
Paint on their
right
bodies.
now, I need to go to the chiropractor tomorrow because to realign my spine and stuff. But right now, my foot.
Oh, is your foot killing
Yes,
you?
it is killing me because I went shopping today.
Oh.
I went to Walmart and Kroger's, and I came here for a little while. So, being in so much pain.
Pain is exhausting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, if you've ever broken a leg or whatever, you know what that
Yeah.
feels like. You know how tired that makes
Yeah.
you feel when you're healing up
And
like that.
I take meds for my pain.
And that makes you tired too.
It makes me tired. Yeah.
Yeah, the medications that we take, whether it's the pain meds or any other meds, that's something that a lot of people don't really consider. In the case of chronic illness, we also have to deal with the side effects of the medications, which some of my medications can also cause that fatigue as well. So I understand that.
And I also have insomnia because of it.
That's my name.
Yeah.
No.
And
my username is insomnia for a reason.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
And I also have sleep apnea.
Yeah. Yep, and the insomnia and sleep apnea working together make it very hard for you to get a good night's rest, which contributes to fatigue throughout the day.
So, great tip, melatonin's my friend.
Yes, yeah, I take melatonin 5 milligrams every night before bed.
I actually take more than that. I take 20 milligrams a night.
That's a lot.
Yes.
You know, you might want to look into that because there's research that shows that if you take extra melatonin, like if you take a large dose of melatonin, that can actually decrease its efficiency on your body.
I've decreased and increased and
tried. I was on 20 milligrams. My doctor brought me down to 5, and it's working better.
Started at 5, or I started at 3 when I first started. It did not take me a while to increase it.
Yeah.
I went up to 5 for a while, and then 10, and now I'm at 20, and I get pretty good sleep.
That's good.
Right now, I need a new CPAP machine because mine keeps turning off in the middle of the night.
That's
it is
unnerving.
very scary.
Yeah, shoot. Damn, get you a new one.
I snore a lot when I was a kid.
We should probably explain what sleep apnea is, because some people might not know.
I have obstruction sleep apnea, which is like when my throat closes up or my tongue goes back in my throat.
And it keeps you from breathing.
Yes.
Yes.
That's probably just because of my EDS.
That makes sense because of the extra flexible tissue. Yeah.
Yep. And right now, everybody in my family except my brother has CPAP.
Wow.
So.
Well, your condition is genetic, so it makes sense that they would also have to deal with that. But yeah, that not getting a good night's sleep definitely contributes to the fatigue
and more pain because
I'm sure because when you're sleeping, you're healing up.
Yes.
And if you don't get that rest, your body isn't able to heal as well as it normally would. Right?
And I have legless.
Restless leg syndrome?
Yes.
Yeah. Legless rest syndrome.
Yes. Pretty much. I mean, and
I feel you.
that causes even more pain because my legs don't stop moving in the middle of the night.
Right.
And I roll around a lot, so that causes even more problems.
Oof.
And I pop and stuff, so when I get up, I kind of pop my back.
Oh, I don't know if the microphone picked it up or not, but her back just popped when she did that.
It's not my back, it's my sternum.
That was your sternum?
Yes.
Hot damn. Well.
Yep.
Well, let's learn a little bit about the difference between fatigue and tiredness.
Yes.
Yes. This is a very good video. I'm going to mute the microphone again and crank up the video volume. Here we go.
This is Stephanie and Elvira. Stephanie was out late last night and only got 5 hours of sleep. Stephanie is tired. Elvira slept for 9 hours but still has trouble getting out of bed. Elvira has chronic fatigue. Stephanie takes a shower. She feels energized and ready to take on the day. Elvira takes a shower It takes every bit of energy available. Stephanie is ready for the day and gets into her car to drive to run some errands. Elvira is too fatigued to drive. She has to get a ride. Stephanie feels a bit tired, but has a few sips of tea and feels better. Elvira's exhaustion is starting to cause brain fog. She can barely stay awake. While it's not fun to be tired, having chronic fatigue is something that can't be cured with caffeine or sleep. It's an ever-prevailing and overwhelming feeling of tiredness. Next time someone tells you about having chronic fatigue, don't respond with, "I'm tired too." Listen.
Hi, I'm Jordan Rubin, and welcome to Ancient Medicine.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so that's one of my favorite videos that the Mighty has done. Sorry, I had to step away for a second to try to get her a pillow for her chair. She's not sitting in a very comfortable chair.
No.
I was not prepared to have a co-host today. But I hope that video was informative for you guys, because a lot of people really, when they think fatigue, they just think, oh, you're just sleepy.
Yeah.
I'm
Just go
tired
sleep.
too. Yeah. But there's a totally different connotation there.
Yeah, like the video. How much hours of sleep do you get?
Oh, let's look at my Fitbit. It varies.
Yes, it varies for me.
I usually, I'm actually getting better because we changed up my hydrocortisone prescription, like time and like the times that I take my doses throughout the day. And I also just got an anxiety medication that helps. Let's see.
That always helps.
Yes. Yeah, I just got Boost Bar, which is like my favorite thing right now. Because I take 5 milligrams of that and 5 milligrams of melatonin before I go to bed, and it really helps. Last night I got 4 hours and 26 minutes. Yesterday I got 8 hours and 46 minutes. Tuesday I got 5 hours and 54 minutes. Monday I got 5 hours and 13 minutes. It just crashed. And then Sunday I got 8 hours and 48 minutes. So
but you take naps during the day, right?
Actually, I didn't take any naps those days.
Oh. Wonder why you're so addicted to coffee and tea.
Well, the reason I'm so addicted to coffee and tea is because if I didn't, I would take naps all damn day.
Yes.
Yeah.
With
it helps
my
a little bit, but it doesn't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, with my POTS, I try to stay clear of caffeine.
Actually, I'm supposed to.
If possible.
I'm not supposed to be drinking this because it affects your adrenals, and with my adrenaline sufficient.
Smack it!
Woman, I will fight you.
I usually get around hourly, like 8 to 9, but like physically, like 7 to 8.
Yeah, man, I guess I can show off my Fitbit things here where you can see the quality. You can see where I'm like awake in the middle of the night. The red is where I'm awake. There we go.
Yeah, I wake up a lot during the night because
very restless sleep.
Yes, well I usually sleep on my side. If I'm sleeping on my back,
I'm a belly sleeper.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because of my mask, I can't really sleep on my belly. But it really messes with my back also. My chiropractor really hates me when I sleep on my side.
They sound very hateful. I'm just kidding.
But it's like how I have my bed set up. I call it my nest.
Aw, is it like orange pillows like wrapped around?
Yes.
Aww.
Like I sleep on my side and I have a giant elephant stuffed animal now, and my niece was like, "Oh, I want it." Well, no, I bought it for me. But I gave my old one to her. I gave my ladybug to her, so she was grateful for that. But I usually sleep on my left side, 'cause that's where my pillows are. But I usually, depending on how bad I sleep during that night, I usually wake up about 4 to 5 times.
Yeah.
A night.
Yep.
But go back to sleep and
Sure.
depending, like, around 5 minutes. The longest was like half an hour.
Yeah, I usually range from
Yeah.
a few minutes to half hour being
And
throughout the night.
I try not to have my phone in the room.
I tried that once. I gave
Well,
up.
for me, with my vision, with my hole or rip or whatever you want to call it, it's healing.
Oh yeah, your retinal tear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my EDS.
Yeah, EDS causes retinal tears. Did you know that, guys? Fun fact.
Yes. My brother has a hole. I have a rip. Or opposite. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah. There's something wrong with your retinas anyway.
Yes.
Huh?
But right now it looks like a thinning of the retina, so it's healing.
That's good.
It's getting better.
That's good. I'm glad that's healing.
Yes.
Up.
And
awesome.
Finally, this year was the first year that I didn't have to change my lenses.
Nice. Congratulations.
So my vision is not improving, but like
it's
not getting worse.
Yes, that's good. That's
but
important.
that's good with my EDS because, especially with my eye doctor, he went to a school that actually knew what they were doing, and
that's important.
Yes, and taught them the different types of disorders and diseases that can cause problems with the eye. And he was the only eye doctor that caught it.
Man, that's fun. We talk about doctors that are undereducated, because I could tell some stories. Because with a rare disorder, you go through this a lot.
Yep.
And that ties back into the zebra thing, which I'm going to read an article here in a minute, kind of explaining the whole zebra thing a bit more.
I think you get it worse than I do.
You think, well, maybe.
Because I'm 22. I was 13 or 14 when I was...
It's not a competition anyway, but...
I mean...
I know what you're saying, though.
You have... A lot of people know it, especially doctors.
No, EDS?
Yes.
You mean? Yeah.
Like nurses, stuff like that.
Sure. Now, when I go into... the look on the doctor's face when I'm reading off my disorders. When I go to the urgent care.
It's like a deer in headlights.
Hold on a minute.
Like,
gotta go to the other room and Google it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, luckily, I do have an endocrinologist right now. Shout out to you, Dr. Imel. You're amazing. He's actually, he specializes in endocrine disorders, and specifically with my condition. The panhypopituitarism.
Yep.
He's actually the one that diagnosed me when I was 13 years old. It's funny, I went in there, my parents took me in to get checked out because I wasn't developing right.
Yeah.
I was 13 years old and I looked like I was still 6.
Yeah.
Well, not 6, probably like 7 or 8. But they brought me in and he looked at me and he saw my eyes twitch and he knew right away, she's got septo-optic dysplasia and it's probably causing she probably has panhypopituitarism, which is causing some stunted growth and stuff. So he ran the test and come to find out, yeah, he was correct. Hey, Robin, welcome aboard. We're talking about fun rare diseases today.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Dr. Imel looked at me and he knew right away what I had, ran the test, confirmed it. I saw him until I was like 22, I think. And then unfortunately I couldn't make it up to Indianapolis where I had to go see him. When you have my condition, you have to see an endocrinologist at least once every... I was seeing him once a year. Ideally, you see them once every 6 months to a year, But I couldn't make it up to Indianapolis for that long trip anymore. I didn't really have a ride. Thought I'd stop by before class just to listen a bit. Sorry if I can't stay the whole time. That's okay. I'm going to be staying for a long time. Thank you for stopping by.
You can always just, like...
Watch the archive later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to my story. So. Oh, just got out of school. Nice. Oh, hey, Permaflare, that's you. Hi. Welcome to our stream. Yes, we're talking about rare diseases. I was just explaining when I was first diagnosed, and then when I had to go switch to a new endocrinologist for the first time. Yeah. I had just moved out on my own. Didn't have that ride to Indianapolis to see my really good specialist anymore, so I had to find another endocrinologist, which is close to home. So I called my insurance company, which is something you do when you're trying to find a doctor that's in network. Otherwise, you get charged out the wazoo. And So they hooked me up with a doctor, an endocrinologist, who I'm not going to name because I'm about to trash talk him. But I called his office and asked if he knew about my condition, and he claimed that he did. He said he knew how to treat it and that he would, take me on as a patient. So I made an appointment, went to go see him. He immediately changed all of my medications. Said, this is all wrong. You need to be on this level of this. We're going to switch you to this medication, and I'm going to get you on growth hormone. Getting me on growth hormone was actually the best thing.
Yeah.
The only good thing that he did, because that, I didn't realize it at the time because I had stopped taking the growth hormone for about 10 years because when I was a little kid, needles suck.
Yes.
And I didn't really understand how important it was. He explained to me that without the growth hormone shots, my risk of developing congestive heart failure skyrockets. And
Hi,
that just
Jane
sounds
Journey.
really scary. Hey, Jane Journey! Welcome aboard. Talking about rare diseases today for Rare Disease Day. Explaining my story here a little bit. But anyway, so he got me on the growth hormone, which is really good.
Yep.
That actually, before I got on growth hormone, I was always so tired. I was essentially bedridden all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't have energy to do anything. So he got me on the shots. I started taking them every day, started feeling a whole lot better. About a couple of years of being on the shots, I saw him for about 2 years. I was feeling well enough to go to work. So I got a job at Kroger, which I have so many good things to say about Kroger. They're such a good company to work for. I like your channel. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. Normally I do art and stuff, but today, since it's Rare Disease Day, we're talking about all the fun stuff there.
We're unique.
Yeah, we are unique. We're rare.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway, I was working at Kroger for a while, and I was doing really well. My work ethic was great. My boss understood. When I was being interviewed for the job, I explained to him, I've got some health conditions that might interfere with my ability to work. I said eventually I might have to quit because, my health might fail me. And he said that he'd be willing to give me a try anyway. So they hired. Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, he was amazing. I actually asked him if I could give him a hug after that because I'm weird and awkward. I gave my boss a hug. I'm like, oh, it just made me feel so good.
Dealing with chronic illnesses and being sick in general.
We're unicorns. We're zebra unicorns.
Yes.
We'll talk about zebras here in a minute. Anyway, go on.
Having something like this, you feel.
I'll talk to you in a second. Jane.
Yeah, so
we'll get in on that.
Sometimes you feel like really weird around normal people.
Like you're afraid that they're gonna judge you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it was really hard when I was in that interview to open up about that.
Yes.
I was I can remember my cheeks got hot.
Yes.
My heart was racing. I was afraid,
I
react.
I feel bad even when I'm talking to new doctors.
Oh sure, yeah.
Because
they think there's always that risk that
I'm
you're
22.
gonna think that I'm a hypochondriac.
Yes.
Being young. Oh, I can talk all day.
Yes.
All day about being judged for our age.
I've always been very conscious about it, just because my age and how big I am.
Because people our age just don't have health problems.
And me and my mom went to this one doctor, and she was like, "It's because of your weight." It's not just because of my weight.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
I could just rant about this all damn day.
My weight affects my pain levels and how I feel, but it's not just that.
It's not just that, right? Yes, exactly. Now we're going on a tangent.
Yes.
We'll come back to that.
Ugh.
We'll come back to that. We'll rant for a good long hour about that crap. But anyway, back to my job interview. Working at Kroger for a while. He did hire me on as a courtesy clerk, bagger. I did that for a couple of weeks. Oh, there's somebody in the Discord. Wait a second. Who's this? Hey, it's Void.
Yo, Void!
Say something. Oh, she can't hear us. Hold on a second. I have to change my Discord settings to the new microphone. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Alright, sorry about that. Hey, you want to say something real quick?
What, me?
Yeah, I need you to say something so I can test your audio.
Da boo da ba da bee da.
Okay, I think. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. You're in. I just wanted to make sure the stream could hear you.
Awesome. Hi.
Yes, I was just explaining my job interview, my first job at Kroger, and then kind of going through my health journey. But once I'm done explaining kind of all of that stuff, I'm talking about doctors that really don't understand your conditions.
Oh my god.
And, yeah,
Yeah.
We'll get in on that in just a second. So, everybody, this is in the Discord. This is my friend Void. She also has EDS, which is what Katrina has, and HS.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Hey, I remembered. What does HS stand for again? Because I couldn't remember that.
Hydranatitis suppurativa.
Gesundheit.
I know, right?
Like, we'll come around to that, but
like I said, my mom has the same thing.
Yeah. Anyway, before I get too sidetracked, I want to hurry up and explain, what my experience at Kroger was like. It was really amazing. Oh, it's kind of low volume. Oh, thank you for telling me. Let me bump Void up a little bit.
Man, I'm a broken person right now.
We're all a little broken. Okay, now just hold that thought. Broken. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, so worked as a bagger for about 2 weeks. My work ethic was really good, so my boss actually came to me and said, hey, I noticed you're working really hard. We appreciate that. We have a position open in the produce department. We'd like to give you a promotion. So they gave me a promotion to the produce department, and I worked there for a while. Starting out, when I started working at Kroger, I explained to them that I'd only be able to do about 15 hours a week, which is the minimum that they'll allow you to work. But after I was working there for so long, I started taking on more and more hours because I was feeling all right,
Yeah.
With my adrenal insufficiency, not a good idea. I didn't really understand at the time anything about my condition because I had just moved out on my own. My parents didn't really do a good job of explaining to me what my condition really was, what the risks were, none of that, because they didn't want me to feel held back by my disorders, which I can understand and respect, but at the same time that was detrimental because it really put my health at risk, because I was pushing myself way harder than I should have, not realizing that I have these serious limits. Well, working there for so long, I eventually became ill, as you do, with a chronic illness. Acute illnesses come a lot easier. My endocrinologist at the time had me on 40 milligrams of hydrocortisone a day, which is very, very high. If you've got an adrenal condition, which I think Jane said that, actually Jane has Cushing's, which is the exact opposite.
Oh, wow.
Of what I have. Yes. So, with adrenal insufficiency, you've got to take the hydrocortisone every day, but he had me on such a high dose that it was actually causing me to have Cushing's disease, which is funny. I didn't realize this until I went to see another endocrinologist for a second opinion, because the endocrinologist that I was seeing just, had really bad bedside manner. he was kind of an ass, and he was the kind of doctor that doesn't listen to what you have to say.
It's hard to find the right doctor.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
So, when I was seeing him, he thought that he knew how to treat my conditions, but when I went to go see another endocrinologist for a second opinion, which if you have doubts, go get a second opinion.
Yes.
Seriously.
Oh my god.
Yes, advocate for yourself. So I found another endocrinologist about 40 minutes away, a little further out of town, but not all the way up in Indianapolis. So I went to go see her, and she looked at me, saw that I had the moon face going on, which Jane probably knows what the moon face is. If you've got Cushing's, where your face gets really round, your skin's all puffy, you've got the stretch marks, she saw that right away, and she said, you're actually exhibiting Cushing's symptoms. What dose of steroids are you on? And I said 40 milligrams of hydrocortisone a day, and she goes, we need to get you off that. I want to change that right now to 25 milligrams a day, which is just a little bit over half.
Did your body, feel bad after?
I tapered down.
Oh, you did taper?
Yeah.
Okay.
I tapered down. You don't want to immediately, when you're on those steroids, cutting it down like that can really do damage. But I tapered down, yeah.
Why do y'all got face cam and I don't? That's just rude.
To me in 2013. What's that? What'd you say, Boyd?
Y'all got face cam and I don't. That's just rude.
It's because she's right here.
Yep.
She's at my house.
You didn't invite me to your house.
To be fair, I didn't invite her either.
Yeah, I came by.
You just showed up.
I came by earlier, while I was shopping, and,
which I don't mind. I'm glad that you're here.
And she told me about it this day.
Yeah,
and,
the stream. Yes.
And I'm like,
yes.
oh.
Anyway.
I should just show up now.
Feel free.
Just be like, I don't think I can get in your house actually right now because my knees are actually fucked.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come around to that. Oh no,
we'll get back to that.
Yeah. So. Anyway, that other endocrinologist that I saw, I immediately switched over to her office. Actually, I skipped something. I forgot to mention that before this happened, before I switched doctors, before I got that second opinion, I had my first ever adrenal crisis.
I bet that was very scary.
It was.
For you and Justin.
Yeah. The thing is, like, it struck right when Justin was getting ready to go to work.
Oh.
So, he was getting ready to head out the door, and I was kind of doubled over the toilet, heaving without, throwing anything up, and I just had so much nausea. My body was so weak, my brain was just, I had so much confusion, I couldn't concentrate. And I had been warned before by my endocrinologist that I had been seeing before, the specialist that I liked up in Indianapolis, told me what the symptoms of an adrenal crisis are so that I could be, coffee burps. So that I could be aware of them. And so I kind of recognized, oh, crap, am I having an adrenal crisis right now? Mm-hmm. So I told Justin, hey, I think I might be having an adrenal crisis. I need to get to a hospital. So I was told, when you feel these symptoms, go to an ER immediately. So he called his stepmother, and she came and picked me up and gave me a ride to the ER in Rushville. The ER in our town that we're in right now is crap.
It sucks.
Yeah, fuck that.
We call it Fatal Memorial.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Actually, legit.
Yeah.
They almost killed my grandpa.
Yeah, they're bad. So I knew right away I did not want to go to that one.
Normal.
I will actually drive 45 minutes to go to Richmond.
Radiation King. Hello.
Raid. Yeah. I will drive 45 minutes in pain. Basically having a seizure.
Yeah, just to get to a different ER.
Yeah. Yep.
So they're having a life-threatening adrenal crisis.
Basically.
Yeah, and I wanted to risk my life to go to a different ER, so I did.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I did, because the ER that I went to, the doctor on staff at the ER didn't really know anything about adrenal insufficiency, but he educated himself. He listened to what I said. My grandma lives in Rushville, so she came to the hospital and kind of helped explain things, because my brain was just so shot. I was having a hard time explaining things to myself.
Yeah, when I have a POTS moment,
it's like your brain
I can't even talk. That's how bad they get.
Yeah. So luckily she was there for me, and she helped explain it to the doctor. The doctor said, "All right, we'll get you started here." We explained that I need the 100 milligrams of Cellucortef injected immediately. He said that he had to go double check on that just to make sure that was okay. He went and educated himself, and he came back as quickly as he possibly could, got me on an IV, got the steroids going into me, and said, "Okay, I know what I'm doing now. We'll get you taken care of." So luckily he did. They gave me very good care. They put me in the hospital overnight that night because I was in such bad shape. My resting heart rate was over 100. Just laying there in the bed. My blood pressure had dropped so much. I don't know, this is because I'm from Denmark, so these words are too fancy for my brain.
They're fancy for anybody's brain.
Welcome to the Rare Disease Day stream. Yes, you're going to have all kinds of fancy words. Do not want to care for adrenal pit patients. Oh, some doctors don't. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Actually, the second adrenal crisis that I had, which I'm sorry I'm jumping all over the place, but this fits with the conversation. Anyway, I survived that first adrenal crisis because they knew what they were doing, thank goodness. Yeah. After that, I switched to a new doctor because the endocrinologist that I was seeing at the time didn't even want to see me after I had my adrenal crisis. Yeah. And that bothered me, because usually you'd want to have a checkup with your endocrinologist after something like that. He didn't seem like he understood adrenal insufficiency very well at all. So that's why I went and I got that second opinion. Glad that I did, because come to find out, hey, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. Great. The level of steroids he had me on was gonna kill me.
Yeah.
So, saw that new endocrinologist. She treated me well. Luckily, over the years, I kind of bumped from endocrinologist to endocrinologist, and I found my way back to Dr. Imel, who I'm seeing now, thankfully, because now I can get up to Indianapolis all right. And he's got me on, taking good care of me. But last year, I had my second adrenal crisis, and the first ER that I went to, I was seeing an endocrinologist at Reed at the time, so I thought, I'll go to the Reed ER because they have all my information on file already, and it should help.
Yeah.
No.
I like Reed. But
Reed's nice.
When you're this special.
When I'm this special. I'm special, you guys. No, I went in there and they didn't know anything about adrenal insufficiency. They didn't understand what a crisis really was. Yeah. I went in and I immediately, they got me through triage fast, which is good.
Yes.
Because you're not supposed to be left in triage when you're having an adrenal crisis. And they got me back in the patient room, but they left me there for 3 hours without the steroids.
Oh my god.
They came in. Yeah, they wouldn't give me the shot, and I kept explaining to them, hey, do you know what adrenal insufficiency is? Do you know what an adrenal crisis is? And they said, yes, we're going to do a blood test, and if your potassium comes back fine, you're fine, you can go home. Potassium came back fine, so they sent me home. When I got home, I did some research, found out that only in 56% of adrenal crisis patients, your potassium's off. About 6 hours later, my health had deteriorated so much, I had to go to another ER. So I went back to Rushville, which I should have gone to in the first place, and they immediately took me in. My blood pressure was just going through the floor. They got me up on that on an IV, gave me the steroids that I needed. After about 4 hours being there, I was well enough that I could go home. So that was good. But Reed damn near almost killed me. Don't go there if you have an adrenal insufficiency. If you're having an adrenal crisis. Did a hospital write you again? Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta get caught up on the chat. But you guys want to share your doctor horror stories while I'm reading chat?
Oh, well, I have one from last night.
What happened last night?
Yeah, I was in the ER last night.
That sucks.
Yeah, my so this is a whole massive long story. Going back to Saturday night. So Saturday night, for those who don't know, Ehlers-Danlos and hypermobility syndrome.
Oh, we talked all about it for an hour. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, yeah, so
they should all be well, some of the new people might not know about it, though. You can give them a quick rundown.
Basically, your joints and ligaments and everything in there are rubber bands. They don't like to hold together. So, for me, I have big KAFO leg braces that I have to wear if I want to walk.
Yeah, which I need.
Yeah, Sunny, if you want to look up KAFO on Google, you'll find a picture and just put it up on the stream.
I'll do that.
I have to wear one on each leg, so basically if I want to walk around, I have to carry an extra 16 pounds on my legs, because they're 8 pounds apiece. So, I'm coming out of the gaming store here in our town, and I go to get in the car, and what do? I twist my knee inside of my leg brace. So that was my right knee. So it was just twisted. It didn't go backwards because it has the metal hinges and everything.
Yeah.
So just went home, iced it, everything was good. Sitting at home Sunday. I'm trying to just transition, because if I'm not in my braces, I'm in a wheelchair. So I'm trying to baby that knee because I'm like, yeah, let's not put too much on that knee. So what do? I sprain and pull the tendons and muscles in my wrist.
My goodness. Jeez, you're just all kinds screwed up.
So we go to the urgent care here in town, make sure, nothing did anything too stupid. Right. Yeah, usually stuff doesn't break when you're hypermobile.
Yeah, the only thing that I broke is my pinkies and my big toes.
The only thing that I broke is technically I broke a toe.
I've never broken a bone.
I've broken one bone. I've broken a toe, and that's because my mother ran over my foot with my wheelchair while I was sitting in it.
Oh, yeah.
Explain to me how that happened. I don't know.
Yeah,
with the back wheel.
Damn. Can I put you guys on pause for a second so we can catch up with the chat?
I'm not done with my story.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I haven't even got to the ER.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, go on. Sorry about that.
So then I have my wrist on my right side and my knee that's messed up. So then I'm like, okay, how do I do anything? So then again, I'm trying to transition, and what happens? My left knee just completely snaps backwards. And I twist my ankle. So then I was like, okay, we're not gonna go to the ER. Nothing felt like it broke. Wait a day. Yeah, nothing helped. Lidocaine patches don't help. Regular Tylenol doesn't help because I can't take ibuprofen.
Congratulations.
So it's just like nothing's helping. It's like all the way to the ER. Luckily at Reed they know me, and so I got in there pretty quick. I got prioritized.
That's
So
having a history there.
yeah, it's so bad that the X-ray techs know me by name.
That's when you're a good patient.
Yeah, man, I walk up to the pharmacy window at Kroger and they're
The
like,
X-ray
"Alright,
techs
we
know
got
me by name.
4 for you, Sonny. Here you go."
No, what's really bad is occasionally we'll get the guy who comes in and gets the trash. Occasionally he'll recognize me.
That's wow. Yep, you've been there a while.
You're like a golden star patient.
I'm not kidding. We have attempted to get a layout of the ER because we could play fucking bingo with the rooms.
Hey. I should probably let you know, I have this stream set today for family friendly.
Sorry.
So, watch the F-bombs. I forgot to warn you. That's my bad.
We can play bingo. Just like... Yeah, but... So it was in there and... Yep, we did x-rays on both my knees. And it's like, yeah, no, they're still intact. They're off. It's like, no. I didn't realize that my kneecaps weren't where they're supposed to be.
Mine never are.
Yeah, we had a new doctor, and we told him, yeah, my knees just go backwards, they don't lock. And so, he goes to, like, look at my knees, and, like, do the, like, pull on them, see if they're stuff. And what does he do? I don't think he believed me. No, I don't think he believed me when I said, yeah, they just go backwards, because for most people, if, you go to, like, straighten their leg, their knee will lock, And then you'd have to, like, push it to go back. He just takes my knee, and it just bends backwards. And I'm just like, aha! And then he, like, realizes what I'm yelling about, and then he looks, and yeah, my knee is just, like, 10 degrees backwards. And he's like, oh. It just, like, slipped. It just, like, one motion, didn't even lock or anything. He didn't, like, feel it lock. It's like, yeah, no. I told you. I just told you. My knee goes backwards.
He just wasn't getting it.
He just didn't understand that. No.
Tell him to go to the other room and Google your condition.
No, here's the thing is after that we said, yeah, no, you should probably go look at my chart. This happens a lot. He then went and looked at my chart. He goes, yeah, so we're going to get you some pain meds and some ice.
Oh, there we go. Got it fixed.
And yeah, and then he just walked out and I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, so sometimes for me, heat's better than ice. Ice just makes it even worse.
See, for me, it's the exact opposite because I also had the fibromyalgia working against me, and heat just no.
We were talking a little bit ago about how different symptoms can exacerbate other symptoms.
Yeah, because see, for me, sometimes even taking a shower is like, no. Because it's like, oh, nice warm shower, and everything burns now, everything hurts.
Oh, damn, I'm grateful that I don't have to deal with chronic pain.
Yeah.
Like, with my condition, I've got chronic everything else, but pain, luckily, I ducked out on, so I can't imagine.
Well, you know what, Sonny? You big shining rainbow. I can't say words I want to.
Yeah. I feel ya.
I don't know. I think she has it worse than I do.
It's not a competition though, and
no,
I think in some ways some of my symptoms are worse, but in other ways you guys go through so much more constant pain and just discomfort than I do. That sucks. We're all in a sucky boat
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. Let's play a game. I want to play a game real quick.
What
Because
game?
I think I might win this game.
Uh-oh. What's your game?
Say the most complicated disorder you have.
That's a trick question for me because one of my disorders is what caused all the other ones.
Well, just say, like, the name. Just like...
Septo-optic dysplasia. It affects 1 in 50,000 births, and only 30% of those births have all 3 of the indicators, which I have.
Nice.
Orthostatic tachycardia.
Yeah.
That's quite a mouthful.
Say that again?
Postural orthostatic tachycardia
Osteoorthostatic tachycardia
syndrome.
Yeah. Damn.
Okay, are you ready for mine?
But the EDS is like
the most prevalent.
It's simple. It's simpler than the POTS, I think.
Okay, so mine is actually one that I don't think I've talked on, like, to most people. I haven't gone in depth with. So are you ready for this?
We're ready.
Now,
Bring it on.
this is actually on, like, the My Read Health portal thing. So,
Alright.
are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Partial systematic epilepsy with partial complex seizures intractable with status epilepticus.
Yikes.
Yeah. You won.
Damn.
You won. Sonny's in second place.
I'm number 2. Alright. I gotta get caught up in chat here because we've got some people in chat.
Yeah.
Heads up, or hello to Radiation King. Thank you for the follow, by the way.
Yeah.
And hello to Jane's Journey. Jane earlier said endos all too often are thyroid and diabetes mills. That's very true. I've dealt with that a lot. Like, I'll go in, like when I went and saw that endocrinologist that turned out to be crap. He said that he understood my conditions, but turns out the only thing that he really understood was the I had prediabetes at the time, and my thyroid condition. Like, those, he was pretty well educated on that, and surprisingly growth hormone deficiency too. But yeah, they that's usually all they know about. I'm gonna read some more. They don't want to care for adrenal pituitary patients. You are correct, Jane. Yeah, I've dealt with that before.
There's a lot of doctors that won't touch my mom because of she has the muscular dystrophy, the EDS, the POTS, the HS, the sleep apnea, and she had the infected what is
the HS? Or wait, was it something else?
The pancreatitis.
Ooh.
From caused by her muscular dystrophy.
Oh man, things causing things to things. Yes.
Yeah, that's vicious cycles. There's a lot of doctors that I found that just don't like.
They don't want to touch
anyone. Yeah, that don't like anyone that has a pre-existing condition.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because they think that you're just a hypochondriac, or they have like this ego.
They don't want to deal with.
Yeah,
the
if you have
cases.
something they don't know about, it's like you're saying, "Ha ha, you're dumb," and they hate that. No.
Yeah.
That's not what it's like at all. Jane Journey asked earlier, "Did the hospital write you again?" I just realized you must be from my YouTube. Thank you for stopping by. I think you're referring to when I had reported the ER at Reed for not treating me for my adrenal insufficiency. I was in contact with them about the doctor that I had seen. She completely wrote me off, made me feel like a hypochondriac, just gaslighted me into thinking that I just had some nausea and sent me home. So I reported her.
They always think, oh, you got a flu, or
yeah,
you got,
that
like,
lead
the
back to the
stomach
zebra
bug or
article that
something.
I'll read here in a minute.
Yeah.
But you asked if they wrote me back again. They wrote me back and said that they had determined that she had not. They said that she had followed proper procedure, which is not true at all. So I decided to look into it. Come to find out, Indiana, the state that I live in, just has a really bad grade on Adrenal Insufficiency United's website for treating adrenal insufficiency. So we just don't have good protocol for that. So even though she may have followed the proper protocol, it's not right.
No.
If I had listened to her, I would have died if I had just stayed home and expected it to get better on its own. But they never wrote me back again after that.
That doctor probably looked at you like a horse.
She looked at me like a horse, which I'll read that article here in a second and I'll explain that.
Yeah, just a lot of a lot of the more complicated rare disease, a lot of just more complicated issues. There's not a whole lot of like really structured protocols.
Yeah.
Like with my seizures and things, like when I have to go to the emergency department and stuff, luckily we've kind of gotten through, especially because everything I have is through Reed. My neurologist and my doctor and just everyone that I go to for it is through Reed.
You're starting them again?
The ER is the ER has learned like through them and like them being on their asses. Sorry.
I'm glad they finally. No, you can say. I've determined the ass is family friendly.
Yeah,
It's
I
fine.
said
Okay.
ass earlier.
Yeah, has been on them and kind of figured out. Okay, no, she's not crazy. You know, she's not.
A hypochondriac.
Yeah, she's not a hypochondriac. This is actually a thing that's happening. You know.
Yeah, she's not just fishing for pain meds. I'm sure that's.
Yeah, her brain is actually malfunctioning.
Yeah.
So, but like in the early stages when we weren't exactly sure what was going on, it was I was going in there not actually like actually just being able to move, because mine's like an internal seizure. So like being just at that point being able to actually just function wasn't a thing to do, and like they would barely give me anything to actually try to fix it. And we were having to call the neurologist, and he was like, "Okay, no, we're doing something about this now."
So you don't have POTS, right?
No.
No. Oh.
No. Yeah, my seizures are such a weird thing. Because I have
in the chat. She lacks critical information. Who lacks what information?
Which critical information?
I don't know. But sorry, I don't mean to interrupt everybody, but Radiation King has been talking about the only time that he's ever had to have been in the hospital was when his father was shot in Afghanistan. He was in a field hospital. But he survived and he got home. I'm glad to hear that he's okay, but that would be terrifying. But Jane's Journey asked, what's HS?
HS. HS is hydranatitis suppurativa. Basically, it's where the hair follicles do not form properly. And instead of sweating outside of my body, I sweat inside my body. And then form giant cyst-like pustules that eventually explode and leave giant massive scars.
Yeah.
And so for me, everyone's a little bit different. But for me, basically, the only place I can properly sweat is the very top of my head, which is why I mostly have a shaven head.
Yes! Man, that has to be so annoying.
It really is. That's why I hate heat. And that's also why I'm like a walking furnace, is because my body just retains heat.
Yeah.
Jane's Journey asked, are you supplied with cortisone injection for home? I am, actually. I'll go and get my injection kit and I can show it off on camera. Christy is taken. Hey, what are we drawing? I actually haven't gotten my art supplies out yet, but I'm going to be working on my leatherworking project today.
Oh, speaking of drawing, Sunny, did you see the start of my thing that I started?
I don't think I did, but I'll check it out.
It's in the art thing. I started it.
Cool. I'll check it out in a second. But yeah, today I'm not doing an art stream specifically. Hello, fellow gaming legends. I'm not a game. I'm just kidding. I do games sometimes. But anyway, today we're doing a special stream for Rare Disease Day, kind of advocating for rare conditions like the ones that myself, Katrina, and Void have. So I am going to do some art here in a little bit while we're chatting about stuff, but for now we're just focusing on the Rare Disease Day thing specifically.
I think of burn patients with sweat issues.
Burn patients with oh right, where the sweat glands are burned off or burned up, so they have a hard time sweating.
That's
I'm gonna step away and get my shot really quick, but go ahead.
Some people have like real sweaty palms or sweaty feet, like obsessive sweating. That's another condition. And a lot of celebrities do that just so that when they're nervous or on stage, they just don't have sweaty palms or like sweat through dresses.
What do they do?
It's like electrotherapy.
Oh, weird.
But
huh,
they
interesting.
like put your hands in water. You can look it up on YouTube. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that the HS is totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Are we having problems in the chat?
yeah, we've got some people who are trying to be mean.
Oh.
Yeah, so we banned them.
Good. Banhammer. Bye.
Yeah, I banned 2 people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so to answer your question, Jane, yes, this is my when you've got adrenal insufficiency, like I do, there's a risk of having something called adrenal crisis, and so you have to carry around a emergency medication kit. I keep mine in an eyeglass case. That way my needle doesn't get bent. But
Yep, I stab her if she needs
yeah,
it.
if I pass out, she gets to stab me. Pretty much, this is if I'm having an adrenal crisis and I can't get to the ER right away. I'm actually supposed to inject myself right away. This right here is the Solucortef Actovial. I smack this down and it'll break this little rubber stopper in between here and mix the liquid parts with the powdery medication parts down there, and I have to slowly spin it until
You never actually told me how to
I
do
never
it.
did? Oh,
No!
well, let's do that on stream right now, because this could be educational. Yeah, you push it down. It'll break this. It'll push the stopper down here. You mix it up slowly. Don't shake it, because that'll put bubbles in there, and you don't want to inject air bubbles. That'll kill you. But then you take the needle. Look at that big old
inject
syringe.
all of it?
You pull it up to 100 milliliters, which is up to the 2 on that
Yeah.
marker right there. So 100 milligrams of Solucortef, which I actually have to wear this. I have a medical alert bracelet that has the information on it. I covered it up because it's got Justin's phone number on it.
I should be wearing one for my POTS, but it's
Yeah, I
my
probably
POTS
should too. I just haven't got one yet.
Yeah, my POTS and EDS isn't really bad. That like I have to. It's just it's not bad.
Right. Well, yeah, it's like
not,
you mean not life threatening.
Yes, it's
but
not
it can
life
affect
threatening.
things though. Right.
That's
yeah,
why
I have
I'm
to
not
wear it
going
because
to
I
the
might be
doctor
I
for
might
it.
pass out.
Yes.
So
I
if
should
were
probably
to
be
go
wearing
out,
one
that
for my
would go down.
seizures, but
Yeah.
Should absolutely. You should be wearing one for your seizures.
I mean, I only pass out.
Intramuscular, yes, yeah, sorry. Yeah, IM stands for intramuscular, yeah. If you inject it, you'll have to stick it like right into my arm all the way deep down to the muscle. Or into my thigh. You can inject it in the abdomen. Please don't. That makes me cringe. So butt,
If
thigh,
you're passed
arm.
out, you're
Question.
Well, yeah, what's up?
can we stab you in the butt with it?
Yes, you can stab me in the butt.
Awesome.
Ooh, stabbing people in the butt.
Just wanted to make sure that I would have permission
Ew,
to
you
stab you in the
Yeah.
butt.
Weekly, yikes.
I wish I can get B12 injections, but I just take the pills.
I inject growth hormone every day, which is fun. But the needles on that one are
I
so
don't
small.
get injections. I
They're
think
not
that
fun.
would cause my POTS to flare up more if I would have to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay, so since we're on injections,
Yes, go for it.
I have the worst complaint ever. And
Oh,
it's so
boy.
annoying, it's so stupid. So, one time I was in the ER and they were like, okay, we did blood tests, blah blah blah. I can't remember what I was in there for. I think it was one of my seizures. And like I was messed up that time. My like sitting blood pressure was like 190 over 130. Like it was bad. And they were like, okay, so we're gonna give you this, an IV, and they're like, okay, so we're gonna give you a magnesium shot in your thigh. First of all, why do I need a magnesium shot?
Doesn't magnesium shots hurt? Like really bad?
It didn't hurt that bad, but then they're like, okay, so just rub it and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what a magnesium does. But that was like 8 months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still have a knot on my thigh that's discolored because you can still see and feel the knot of the magnesium.
Man, that hurts.
But it doesn't hurt anymore. It's just like, they're like, oh yeah, just rub it and it'll go away. It'll like go into your like thigh and stuff. I'm just like, it's been 9 months.
Yeah, you must have not, because when some medications you have to rub it in to dissolve and into the dermis layer or
Yeah.
Jane's wondering if the magnesium was for heart racing.
I'm not sure. I was kind of out of it. Because I think I went catatonic that time. I don't know, but all I know is like...
I'd rather not have music on.
Oh, I can turn it off your
I don't know about other people,
well,
but...
it's in the background. I can make it to where you don't hear it, though.
Okay.
All I know is just like...
Thank you.
All I know is like, I'm tempted to like get this knot removed. Cause like, it's a pretty good sized knot.
How long
like,
ago was that you got the shot?
Like 9 months.
No way, that's still there?
Yeah!
Checked out. That doesn't sound right.
I've told like many doctors and stuff, and they're just like, oh well, I mean, it's not that big of a. I'm like,
It's
no,
not that
I'm
big of a
pretty.
deal. Okay.
I'm pretty sure having a knot of magnesium in my upper thigh
That doesn't
is a
sound
problem.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm like, and like, I know they're supposed to do it like slower, just cause like, but like this nurse just went like, boom, done, and I'm like, I don't think that's how that works. Cause like I rubbed it constantly when they gave it to me. Like I was like furiously rubbing it,
Oh my god.
Right.
and like
For you.
it-
Oh my god. Oh.
yeah, and it was like still there. It's actually, like, I'm gonna send you a picture of this because like you can freaking see it.
Wow. Yeah, send me a picture.
I didn't mind getting my blood worked on or
Like
getting
it's actually
shots or
stupid.
whatever when I was younger, but now since I'm like so like I don't want to have one of these hot things anymore. Like
Yeah.
I like only get my blood worked on when I need to.
Yeah. 'Cause when you get the blood work, you have that risk of passing out.
Yes,
Yes.
and
I need to step away and use the restroom
I hate
really
the
quick.
feeling.
Hey, Sunny, can you spot the magnesium spot?
Oh, hold up. Did you send it to me over Discord?
Yeah, can you spot it?
I gotta get to the picture first so I can save it. Oh!
Oh
is
my
that
god!
nice? Yeah! Let me bring that up in the chat.
Yeah,
Do you
that's-
mind if I show
that's-
off your leg? Can I
No,
show people's
no, that's
leg?
fine. Yeah, that's fine. You can do it.
Hey,
Can you
we're
spot the
getting
mag-
saucy.
Yeah. Can you spot the magnesium?
Yeah, I think it's
Oh my
right there.
gosh.
Yeah, that was 9 months ago they did that.
Damn,
Oh, but
that's
it's not a
messed up.
it's not a worry. It's not nothing's wrong.
Oh yeah, that's nothing to worry about for sure. Wow, that's messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, I have to use the restroom, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play one of the official Rare Disease Day videos while I go. So I'm gonna.
I was
mute you
gonna be the
guys.
one with all the paint.
Oh, we already showed the EDS one.
Oh well, damn it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna show one of this. They have different stories for people that have different rare disorders.
All
We're
this is
gonna
gonna
watch
be good.
Carlo's story right now while I go use the restroom, and then when I come back, we'll talk a little bit more. And there are a couple other videos that we'll watch eventually. But I'm going to mute my microphone, and Void, I'm going to mute you too in the meantime.
Okay.
Okay.
Moje ime je Karlo, dolazim iz Zagreba, Hrvatske i bolujem od neurofibromatoze tip 1, koja je ujedno jedna od 6000 rijetkih bolesti. Moja bolest rijetka je dosta utjecala na moj život, a samim time i na život moje obitelji i općenito okoline prijatelja. Do sad sam bio na neke 4 veće operacije što se ticale prvenstveno motorike i na nekoliko estetskih, znači zbog tumora koji su se manifestirali na koži pa samim time narušavali izgled.
Karlova dijagnoza je dosta pogodila našu obitelj kad smo čuli, jer je neizlječiva bolest i teško je čuti tako nešto. Ali smo se brzo usmjerili na to šta mi možemo napraviti za njega i počeli smo se raspitivati oko specijalista ko mu može pomoći. Čitali smo dosta o toj bolesti I mislim da nakon ovih težih operacija smo mu dosta i fizički, jer je bio u krevetu, pomagali i mislim sa psihološke strane puno.
Najviše sam nakon te prve operacije, pošto je bio težak oporavak, sam se odlučio baviti puno aktivnije sportom, općenito životom i jednostavno sam rekao da više neću dopustiti da me moja dijagnoza sprečava u ostvarenju nekih svojih ciljeva. Penjanje je utjecalo poprilično pozitivno na moj život. Kao prvo, upoznao sam predivne ljude s kojim se i dan danas družim, koji me nisu osuđivali zbog moje dijagnoze, a i puno mi je pomoglo što se tiče samog oporavka. Oko operacija sam se puno brže oporavljao i bolje osjećao. Tu je i velika bila podrška udruge oboljelih od neurofibromatoze, gdje kroz zajednička druženja smo podrška jedan drugom i razmijenimo iskustva i nekako imamo tu i neku prijateljski odnos. Svatko može dati svoj doprinos. Uključi se i ti u pokret za rijetke bolesti. Pokaži da si jedinstven, pokaži da ti je stalo.
Okay, you guys are unmuted now.
Yay! I'm doing
watched-
something hilarious.
What are you doing?
You'll see.
Okay, I gotta get caught back up on the chat. I'll mute music for you in a second.
Okay.
Trina. There you go. Okay. Get caught up on the chat now. I gotta bring the chat window back up so I can read it. I've got two monitors here. I've got my laptop right here, and then I've got a big monitor over here because my eyes are so bad. I gotta make the text big. Kimberly Ray YouTube channel also has Eleanor's Dylan's with Addison's. Wow. Can you give me a link to her channel? That would be really handy. I'll subscribe and we'll check out some of her videos.
I have a couple channels that I watch that people have the EDS. What? Sometimes people get the POTS when they have the EDS or.
Like it's a common diagnosis to pair with it. Yeah.
Yeah. When we were diagnosed, we was diagnosed with the POTS first. Because my mom was having period problems.
Oh, the polycystic
Yes.
ovarian.
They thought it was that, and she was passing out all the time, and we didn't know what it was. So that kind of helped us find out what was going on with her, and in a way us too, me and my brother. If she never got her diagnosis at that time, we would never have had ours, and my education would have been even worse. Because we have an open campus at our high school, so I had very hard trouble walking class to class. So gladly, my guidance counselor helped me with picking and choosing the closest classes I can go and like kind of have my own little day thing, so I can go one class over, so I don't have to walk all the way over.
Oh, they actually set your schedule up so they. Oh, that's really cool. They did that. Nice.
And
awesome.
My pain back then wasn't as bad as like now, but it was getting worse. Because I was walking so much. And
Oh, she said it's hard to hear you. Who's it hard to hear? Is it hard to hear us or is it hard to hear Void?
I'm not saying nothing. I wasn't talking.
Let me
I was listening.
bump up our microphone. Sorry if it's hard to hear us. Can you hear us now at all better? Sorry, maybe bump up your volume because it looks like Streamlabs is saying that my volume's looking good.
Yeah.
So, sorry if you're having issues. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
But I was really having trouble in high school, but they helped me out a lot to help me with my pain and stuff. And we were thinking about getting me a wheelchair so I can like go across the campus when I needed to, but my principal thought that was a little bit overkill since my pain wasn't as bad, but back then I thought it was like a big slap in the face, but now I'm like,
I turned the music off. Hopefully that'll
I'm
help.
like,
Sorry.
it was good for him to say that because I felt that he was like just brushing me off, but he was trying to do something good for me. He didn't want that burden of me getting even bullied even more.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've dealt with a lot of that sort of thing too, like with people wanting to not let your wherein trying to help you, they're hurting you at the same time.
Yes.
You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the volume any better for you, Jane? I'm sorry for the issues. I did turn off the music. I hope that'll help. But I brought up that person you were telling me about. I think I'm actually gonna play one of her videos. If you guys want to check this out, I'll go ahead and play this video really quick, talking about how she'll pronounce it. I'm gonna try to say it.
I never
cherry
heard it
malformation?
before.
I haven't either. So I mean, in spirit of Rare Disease Day, let's hear about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute us and let this play. Oh, unhealthy guy, this is the stream for you. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, we're on
unhealthy guy.
Yeah, he was playing Jackbox with me yesterday.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's actually really clever, very good at making jokes. Today we're celebrating Rare Disease Day.
Yep.
So we're talking about different rare disorders. We got 3 rare people here. Myself, I've got
Katrina.
Yeah, myself, Katrina, and Void. I've got adrenal insufficiency, panhypopituitarism, septo-optic dysplasia, optic nerve hypoplasia. Say that 5 times fast. And
I
Katrina,
never could.
Katrina and Void both have EDS, and
I have postural orthostatic tachycardia.
And Void has
and fibromyalgia.
We don't got time.
we don't have time.
We don't have
time for that.
I have a syndrome, not a disease. Oh well, I mean, feel free to share. Seriously,
everything's the same if you're unhealthy or not.
Syndromes, disorders, diseases. You can call it what you want, but today is celebrating, rare disorders. Let's check out what
today is celebrating all the broken people of the world.
Hey, I'm back.
I'm broken.
I'm broken and I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm broken and I'm proud. I'm broken and I'm proud.
Jane, thank you for that video. It's about 8 minutes long, so I'm probably not going to play it on stream, but I'll watch it later.
Yeah.
It looks informative, but we talked about EDS earlier in the stream too. Really went into detail about it. But I am going to play this video here, talking about cherry malformation. Carrie malformation? We'll find out what it's called. But it looks informative. So I'm going to mute us and Void and just let the video play.
Ready? So what is Chiari malformation? You've probably been hearing about it from me since I had Hey everybody, so what is Chiari malformation? You've probably been hearing about it from me since I had brain surgery last fall. Chiari malformation is a birth, usually a birth problem where your skull doesn't form correctly and doesn't hold in your brain correctly. It's called malformation because it was misformed. It's called Chiari because of the guy that figured this out. I'm borrowing my little skeleton today that my daughter put together for school. Chiari is a very common condition that people with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome have, and that's something that I have. And it affects your entire skull in general, but you can tell that it's a problem based on this spot right here, the bottom where your skull stops and the rest of your body is supposed to start. If you have Chiari, your brain isn't like a normal person's brain where there's room in there for the spinal fluid to go here and there, and there's room for things to change and flux. Your brain it looks swollen in the MRIs. It's basically too big for your skull. I'm not sure if that makes us smarter, but that'd be nice. But part of the problem is it squishes things that shouldn't be squished, and particularly this spot down here where the skull ends and your spine begins, you are going to actually see part of your brain dropping down. It's called the cerebellar tonsils, and it starts squishing down because there's no room for your brain to be, and so it actually is like trying to escape. And you'll notice it in the MRI. It's lower than another person's is. It's dropped down and under where the skull actually stops. And some people can live their whole lives with Chiari and not have any problem with it, not have any symptoms. It's just something that's part of who they are. A lot of people do have symptoms. Some choose to have surgery, some don't. Where do the symptoms come from? What does that all mean? Well, we'll have another video for that. So that's it for this one, and we'll start the other one.
Katrina's on the phone, so I'm sorry if you have a conversation. She got a phone call. But that was interesting. It was funny. Katrina and I were laughing because as we were watching that video,
feeling my head like
I'm different. She was checking the back of my head.
I told Sunny, like, I'm pretty sure my parents and my doctors when I was young would have known, because when I was 9 months old, I had a reaction to the 9-month baby shot that they usually give you. I had a fever of 102, and it pretty much fried my brain. So I had a lot of therapy when I was young, a lot of physical therapy, speech therapy, a lot of therapy to make this happen. And my teachers in school, and I think I stopped speech therapy when I was in 6th grade. So, yeah.
Well, unhealthy guy in the chat sent us his syndrome. He's got Noonan syndrome, which is, I guess, it says, I'm looking at the wiki now that he sent. It says, Noonan syndrome is a genetic disorder that may present with mildly unusual facial features, short height. I'll bring up the thing so you guys can see.
Yeah.
Short height, congenital heart disease, bleeding problems, and skeletal, if I could talk, skeletal malformations. Wow. Facial features include widely spaced eyes, light-colored eyes, low-set ears, a short neck, small lower jaw. Heart problems may include pulmonary valve stenosis. Hey, I said it right, I think. The breastbone may either be protruding or sunk, while the spine may be abnormally curved. Intelligence is often normal. Complications of NS may include leukemia. That's strange. Huh. Well, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, he did say in the chat that he did have surgery when he was 3 and 7 months old. Surgery for it. Thanks for sharing that. That's something that I had never heard of before. It says on the Wikipedia that it affects an estimated 1 in 100 people mildly, while 1 in 2,000 have a more severe form of the disease. Thanks for sharing that. It's interesting.
I've always been interested in.
Jane, if you get rid of the question marks at the end there, you can change your avatar to Hypno if you want. You just got to get rid of the question marks. Anyway, so.
I've always been interested in other people's
conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got a rare condition and then you find out somebody else has something abnormal, you're like, oh, tell me about it. I want to learn.
Yes, and
yeah, it's
yeah.
I'm always really I always get really, really excited. It's very strange. I always
Yes.
get really excited when I find someone who has something similar to me. Like, I almost freaked out when I went to the orthopedic and I saw someone who had, it wasn't the exact same thing, but I don't see very many people that have like larger leg braces. I see like the
Yeah.
little ones around the ankles, or I see like the little like pull-ons around the knee. But I saw someone who had like one of the larger leg braces, and I got like overly excited because I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
similar.
I can count the number of people that I've met with panhypothyroidism on my hands. I can count the number of people that I've met with the full septo-optic dysplasia that I have on one hand. And whenever I've met each of those people, I've been like, I get so excited. I'm like, it's so rare that we could actually run into each other because the instances are so. It's like I said earlier, it's 1 in 50,000 births, but only 30% of those births have those all three indicators.
Yeah, with me, I've always had like identity problems because of my brain thing when I was young, and also having all these other problems with myself, and with my health.
Sure, yeah, it's kind of isolating.
Yes,
yeah.
Very isolating.
Mm-hmm.
And meeting people like Floyd.
Yeah, that was pretty cool when you guys got.
Yeah, it's nice to meet people like that.
I think I introduced you two because you have the same condition.
It's
like
weird because
you have this, she has this. You guys should like play date.
It's weird because I knew her in high school,
Oh,
and
I
didn't know.
You may have told me. I may have forgotten.
I didn't know.
At the time, you didn't know that you had the same condition.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, but now you know.
No.
Right? Yeah. And it's funny because you guys live in the same small town too. So it's. What are the odds? Yeah. But
and it's so rare too.
Yeah.
That some people don't even know that they even have it.
Sure.
I didn't say this. I didn't say this, but the most common like visual thing that you have EDS is the blue tint in your eyes, the white part of your eye, blue tint.
Yes.
That's. I didn't know that you guys had a blue tint in your eyes.
Yep.
Wow, she does.
Yep.
That's cool. She's got blue eyes.
Blue.
Yeah,
eyes.
here I'll send you a pic because I have a pretty close-up pic of my eyes.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
Also, did you see my little? Did you see my dude?
Oh, I need to go look at that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's funny. I'll show you guys what she did.
That's cute. I love that.
It'll pop up here. There we go.
Is that me?
With your bruises.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
Can I get a better picture? Where's my good picture of my eyes? Come on.
But,
I have one.
I've got another.
Oh. It's even harder when you have blue eyes anyways, like blue to green, mine changes because mine are hazel, but it's even harder to see, but with babies, I'm very scared for my niece and nephew, because my niece has the blue tint, but she has very blue eyes.
Yeah,
So,
but that blue tint could be a sign. I mean, it's
Yes.
genetic, so it makes sense that she might actually have it. How early is it? Are you able to catch EDS?
Well, right now, I don't know how little kids work.
Me either. They're an enigma.
But
How do children work? Google.
But she pops and cracks like I do, like with my wrists and my elbows and stuff.
Hi, Yellow Gun.
But I am very scared of my niece and nephew
Developing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gladly, we thought my brother was a carrier for the muscular dystrophy that my mom has, but we found out a couple months ago that he is not a carrier. He cannot pass it on to his kids.
That's good.
But there is a possibility of having two parents having the carrier
Oh,
of
and then,
it to pass on.
Okay, gotcha.
So if my sister-in-law has that gene, they can pass it on to their kids.
Gotcha.
But hopefully that's not it.
Yeah, let's
so.
cross our fingers.
Freaking genetics. Freaking sucks. The
Yeah.
science of it.
Yeah.
If you don't know the science behind everything, it's hard to say what's actually happening.
Well, I remember learning about genetics in my in science class. You know,
Yes.
where you have to do that grid that's like,
Yes.
you know, the X and Y
Yeah,
axis.
the stupid
Yes.
grid.
I wish I paid attention more in school.
Yeah, I was doodling all day. Unhealthy guy in the chat said
As
he's
artists.
Yes. Yeah. Unhealthy guy in the chat sent a link to a video about cerebral palsy, and said this disorder has always amazed me. I need to learn more about cerebral palsy. I've got a friend that has it, but I don't know a whole lot about it. I know that he's confined to his wheelchair, and he has like his hand doesn't want to move, so he has a hard time maneuvering that. But
it's
sorry.
It's kind of weird because both my uncles on my dad's side, they are mentally retarded, and they thought I was going to be because of how my brain was working back then.
Oh, so they thought the EDS.
But I was born perfect.
Yeah, you came out looking normal and healthy.
It was the whooping cough vaccine.
That's well, I don't think.
There's.
Oh, here we go. That's vaccine.
I'm gonna stay out of this one.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
shit, Katrina. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is a family friendly. It's been disproven vaccines don't cause autism.
No.
Or mental disorders.
Their autism, or I don't know what they actually have because I don't talk to them very good because they're in hospice or whatever. But mine was caused from
your what?
My brain issue when I was a baby.
I don't.
It was proved by my doctors.
What did your doctor say?
Back then?
Yeah.
That it was from the vaccine.
Because I know that this is a really touchy subject because there are a lot of people out there that really do believe that vaccines cause conditions like that.
I'm not saying that. Oh, don't vaccine your kids. It helps. It helps. For diseases and stuff like that not to happen. I'm just saying
There's
that.
my eyeballs.
Oh, she said her eyeballs. Sorry, go on.
I'm saying like it caused my thing to happen, and oh yeah, blue tint. It's not perfect because of the shine, but yeah.
Those are her blue eyes.
It's very hard to see because the white has it. It's the eyes.
Yeah. But
it's hard to see, but
yeah.
But
yeah. But
I was not oxygen deprived at birth.
I was cold.
I was perfect little baby until 9 months old when they gave me the shot.
Galligan, I don't know anything about that. I've never heard of that.
What?
About amalgam fillings causing autoimmune disease. Unhealthy guy earlier said I'm also scared of my kids if I have any, that they will have to go through the surgery that he went through.
Yes.
That's why I'm going to adopt.
Well, luckily these days you can actually get genetic testing on an embryo to see if they're developing that. And that goes into another debate that can be really touchy, but but yeah, I mean, we can at least look out for these things now.
Yeah. See, I just have too many genetic issues that they're just gonna end up with something, and I'm just like, no. And all of mine are just horrible.
Luckily, the conditions that I have aren't genetic. It was just a random freak accident. But I can't have children because of my adrenal insufficiency. Yeah. The risk is too high. It would probably kill me. But yeah.
And also, just my family history just sucks anyways.
Yeah.
Like, actually, both sides of my family, leading to me, both have heart disease. Both have a history of cancer. Both have a history of just...
Hey, Will Mason. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. I got excited. I saw somebody I know.
No, it's just like... It's literally just both sides of my family are just like, yeah, let's screw up that one's life. It's like,
Got
thanks.
ganged up on by genetics.
Basically.
Well,
It's
hello,
like,
Will Mason.
cool.
Thanks for joining us. I'm doing a special stream today to advocate for rare diseases since it's Rare Disease Day. I've got rare diseases. Katrina's got rare diseases. Yep. Carletta Boyd in the chat there also has rare diseases. We've got rare people in the chat.
Yep.
So we're just a whole bunch of rareness.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Feel free to stick around and learn it a little bit.
My combination that causes my seizures affects like 1 in like 200,000.
Yeah.
Jane, about your comment about mercury in some vaccines, the amount of mercury in vaccines is actually smaller than the amount that you'll get in tap water.
Yeah.
So it's don't let those scare tactics scare you away from getting vaccinated, please.
Back years ago, when they first came out with vaccines, they did have a lot more stuff in them.
Well,
but
I don't know.
We don't know because, I mean, we don't have like a vial.
Vaccines these days are safe. Go get vaccinated,
yes.
please. There's a guy named Jack Carroll who came second in Britain's Got Talent. He has cerebral palsy.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
I think that's the one who went to America's Got Talent champions that went through. He didn't win.
I'm sorry to hear that, unhealthy guy.
He didn't win, but he is funny.
Hey, I've got an article here.
He's a comic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I may have seen a clip from him actually. Yeah, that, if I ever remember right, that guy was.
He's hilarious.
Okay, I've got an article here talking about calling back to these stripes that are the namesake for Rare Disease Day 2019 Show Your Stripes theme, talking about zebras. So I'm going to read this article here that the Mighty shared today on their Facebook page that I thought was great. They shared this for Rare Disease Day because of the whole zebra thing. I'm gonna read this. I've got it there on the screen for you all to read, but if you have vision problems like I do, I'm gonna read it for you so you don't have to squint.
I like how the one with vision problems is reading it.
That's a good point.
And then the other person in the room with reading problems.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting over here just like, yep, eating a Pop-Tart.
Oh
my God.
Enjoy your Pop-Tart. I'm gonna read this. Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, so it's called A Zebra's Battle, Living with a Rare Invisible Illness. One of the first things medical students are taught is, when you hear hoofbeats, think of horses, not zebras. Put simply, the most obvious answer is usually right. This often is the case. However, as rare as zebras are, they still don't exist. Oh, zebras don't exist, you guys. Wow, okay.
I don't exist.
I know how to read, I promise. Okay.
I'm not here.
Put simply, the most obvious answer is usually right. This is often the case. However, as rare as zebras are, they do still exist. Not only does this make getting a diagnosis of a rare condition a long and difficult process, but the view only the obvious is possible can spill into public perceptions. Is it all in my head? Despite experiencing symptoms from childhood, I was 18 before I was diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Wow. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, thank you. Hypermobile type EDS-HT. I had been experiencing pain along with partial and complete dislocations my whole life. However, every medical professional played it down and described it as just being part of who I was. Not only is EDS-HT a rare condition, but for the most part, the symptoms are invisible. When you combine a lack of awareness amongst medical professionals with a lack of visible evidence, you can feel like you're fighting a losing battle. I began to question whether the symptoms were all in my head. But you don't look sick. This is one of the most common things people say to me when I talk to them about EDS. This statement has often puzzled me. What does sick look like? Surely it looks different in every person. So where does our perception of what sick should look like come from? If you think about the images of disability we see on a daily basis, they're usually the same. Whether it's in a parking space or an access door or council-issued disability badges, their logos are all a person in a wheelchair. Without realizing it, we've had a picture painted for us of what a person with a disability should look like, when in fact the image only represents a percentage. Just because you can't see it, it doesn't mean it isn't there. People often don't show compassion towards someone with an invisible illness. They can't understand that there's a real problem. As a result, they question reality and severity. Repeatedly stating, "I am in pain," leaves people feeling uncomfortable or thinking you're looking for attention. So what is the solution? My solution to this situation is actually be part of the problem. I adopt the role of a healthy person. I act the way people think a normal person should act, and make little or no reference to being in pain. This avoids any awkwardness or Oops, I scrolled down too fast. Any awkwardness or need for me to defend my condition or the right to be in pain. However, this in and itself can be extremely exhausting and isolating. Having an illness which is largely invisible does come with some advantages. With an invisible illness, you can avoid a lot of common misconceptions. Unless I choose to disclose my diagnosis, people are unaware of it. So when I discuss carrying out an activity, nobody questions my ability to do it. It is possible for me to paste on a smile and get through the day without anyone realizing I'm in any pain at all. I can even usually manage my dislocations without drawing any attention to them. There's a substantial lack of knowledge and awareness surrounding EDS, not just across society, but within the medical profession. Despite being diagnosed for over 10 years, I still see doctors who now try to dismiss my symptoms and my diagnosis, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. The
development of social media has opened up a whole new community to me, a community of other zebras fighting the same daily battles I am.
Woo!
There are thousands of people with similar experiences to me who have fought for a diagnosis and support, who are not acknowledged by people around them as having an illness. Being part of this community helps to deal with the isolation it comes with. People with illnesses are wrongly seen as being weak and incapable. Those with invisible illnesses are amongst the strongest people I know. It takes a strong person to go about everyday lives while dealing with numerous symptoms nobody knows about. Awareness is key. That's why we're doing this today. The most important thing you can do is educate yourself, learn about EDS and invisible illnesses. That was a very good article.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
It made me tickle.
All I have to say is screw you, therapist.
Yeah, your therapist is coming. Whew.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you talked about that. The thing you're talking about a couple of days ago?
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty BS. Let me get caught up on chat.
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
So yeah.
There's borderline BA.
Yeah.
So Katrina,
illness.
how many things have you dislocated?
We'll get around to your answer here in a second, borderline.
A lot. When I was a kid, I dislocated my fingers a lot playing basketball and other stuff, like messing around with my brother. I popped my hip out of place like a year or two ago.
Ooh.
Haven't done that one yet.
That freaking hurt like a BA.
Haven't done that yet.
That sounds painful.
Yes, and it I didn't know how to put it back.
So what did you do? Just sit there and wait for the doctor?
I had to like sit there and like
wiggle.
Yes, pretty much like a toilet, like the distance that I'm sitting right now, and then like I just like try to like
wiggle it back into shape. Did it
it's
work?
very weird. Yeah.
Oh well, I'm
not.
I didn't know if you had to go see a doctor to get it
no.
put back or not.
My elbows, my shoulders, my wrists, real bad. I mean, I can.
I haven't done a wrist yet either.
I can like easily like pop them back in. I have tennis elbow a lot, so they pop. I gotta like. And my knees, my pretty much everything that moves.
I haven't I haven't dislocated my knees.
No, I have. When I
let me move this back over here so they can hear you better.
To like take my grandma's dog out of its little like kennel thing and pick him up, I pretty much like
All right, we gotta address Borderline's question. Invisible illness? Question mark. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so
Well, this is not good mystical morning. Mystical morning.
Well, I mean, invisible illness is something like what I have, where
I know.
visibly
Well,
you can't.
What you said.
Yeah.
What you said. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah. Good mythical morning. Let's talk about that. No.
No.
Where's my coffee cup? Where's my coffee mug? Anyways.
So anyway, visibly you can't really see anything's wrong with me. Like I look perfectly healthy.
Yeah.
Walking down the street, you wouldn't think anything about it.
Yeah,
but if you were to do lab work,
yes.
oh boy, that's when you can see that I have a serious medical condition that really is debilitating at times, and it's an illness that you can't see. That's an invisible illness.
Yeah.
Like I tried to explain these to my niece. She's 4, coming 5, and I tell her it's like being sick.
Real good mystical morning. Sorry, go on.
It's like being sick, but you can't really see it. It's just like looking at a normal person, but you're sick. It's like somebody having cancer, but you don't see them.
Right? Yeah, you don't
sick.
see the bald head. You don't see where you get pale. When you got
except in my scenario
from chemo.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
because of your HS. Yeah.
I watched this
except my
video.
scenario where I'm like. Zzz.
I watched this video on YouTube. This woman had I think EDS or something. I think she had cancer, leukemia or something. She
she
didn't have any hair, eyebrows or anything. She did herself up real nice.
Wore the wig.
Yep.
Yeah, I
wore a
think I've seen
wig.
that video.
She did herself up and stuff and asked, "Do I look sick?" She started taking everything off.
I'm Caroline Mulios, and I have.
And,
I remember that was actually I'll look up that video after this one.
Yeah,
And we'll see if we can find it. It's really good.
Yeah, it hit a.
Yeah, struck a chord with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna mute us, and I'm gonna mute you, Void, and I'm gonna play another video by the Mighty. Talking about invisible illness, since we're on the topic. Woo. Yeah. Woo.
I'm Caroline Mulios, and I have achalasia.
Severe osteoarthritis.
Lupus, rheumatoid arthritis,
endometriosis, and Hashimoto's.
Chronic migraines.
Systemic lupus. I've had both shoulders replaced, both knees replaced.
I had this excruciating pain in my shoulder.
I couldn't use my hands for about a month. They had swollen to massive size.
The migraines are so excruciatingly painful that you can't, later on in the day, you can't do your homework.
I have had people say, well, you don't look sick.
That's when, it's kind of like, yeah.
I say that it's a lot more complicated than it looks.
I really, really wish that there was a way to knock some compassion into people.
And they see me as like this active person who loves to dance.
So I used looking normal to my advantage.
But I really try to keep that strong front, so when I'm outside and I'm at a walk or a run, it looks like everything's fine.
It makes you a stronger person.
It's definitely given me some patience.
It's taught me more patience.
I had to learn how to have compassion for myself.
I'm Caroline Mulios, and I'm not my illness.
I am not lupus.
I'm not lupus.
I'm not my chronic migraines.
I am not my invisible illness.
I am not my illness.
The Mighty makes some damn good videos, you guys.
Yes, they do. The Unhealthy Guy. I watched that movie. It's really good.
Yeah, Kiss and Cry. I haven't heard of it. But
Let's watch it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we'll have a watch party for the next 2 hours. I'm gonna see if I can find that video you were talking about, though.
Yeah. I don't know what it was called.
I meant to mention this earlier. Jane's Journey earlier said the mask can slip. Absolutely. Sometimes it is really difficult to keep up that strong front.
Yeah.
When you're struggling with the symptoms of an invisible illness, Yeah, I get what you're saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut everybody off, but yeah.
No, you're
That's a
you're
real
fine.
It was really hard for me. I was talking to my therapist about this more and more. It's been hard because I had the mind of a little kid for so long until they like try to help me throughout. And now I'm 22 and I'm still like, it's hard not to think of the what ifs. Like, what if
Yeah.
it didn't happen? What if I was healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my therapist says it's nice for you to think that way, but it's
See,
not
I
healthy.
don't agree with that.
But it's not healthy. When you think that way, it's harder for you to have a healthy mind, I guess, is
Realize
what I'm
like,
saying.
what reality is.
Yes.
Like, come to terms with reality.
Yeah.
Which is probably one of the hardest things to do.
Yes.
Yeah, because which
like,
yeah.
Yeah. So for me, when dealing with my brain thing when I was younger, it's like being in a coma for a couple years, but still like doing stuff. It's very weird to like describe it, but I act and talk like I should.
Yeah, normal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think anything was wrong until Liz told me.
Yeah.
I don't know if chronic migraine, or I don't know if it's chronic migraines, but I don't get headaches. I get migraines. Yikes.
Yeah.
Migraines suck. I've never had one, but I've heard
I get them because when I hit my head, when I was 13, when I hit the jewelry case, when you get like such a bad concussion like that, it can cause like migraines and headaches years after that. So
I'm trying to find that video and I can't find it anywhere.
I don't know who did it.
I can't remember her name either. Sorry, guys. But, yeah. Well, you know what? Why don't we watch one of the videos from the official Rare Disease Day website. Learn another story. This will be Philippe's story. So, I'm gonna void us and mute. I'm gonna mute us and void, if I can talk right, and we're gonna watch this video.
Bună, sunt Alina și sunt împreună cu băiețelul meu Filip, care are 8 ani și are achondroplazie. Am avut foarte multe provocări. În primul rând, nu știam foarte multe despre acest diagnostic. A trebuit să citim, să găsim medici specialiști care să ne îndrume pașii. Filip merge la școală, este clasa a doua. A avut nevoie la început de sprijinul nostru, al întregii comunități, dar s-a adaptat foarte bine.
Eu am construit din Lego un avion prăbușit în junglă. Eu, în afară de școală, pe lângă școală mai fac karate, tenis, șah, îmi place să schiez.
Filip este un copil la fel ca toți ceilalți. Este la fel de ambițios, la fel de inteligent. Îi plac toate lucrurile normale pentru vârsta lui și suntem tare mândri de el. Avem nevoie de o legătură mai strânsă între sistemul educațional și cel social. La școală s-au făcut mici modificări, i s-a ajustat scaunul, iuveta s-a adaptat, toaleta ca să poată să fie și el independent și să nu depindă de doamna învățătoare. Toți specialiștii de care avem nevoie ar trebui să fie într-un singur loc, atât medic cardiolog, cât neurolog, cât ortoped, genetician, în același spital. De când îl am pe Filip, am conștientizat că nu sunt singura care mă confrunt cu această problemă. Așadar, vă invit să vă alăturați mișcării internaționale de voltare.
Arată că ești rar, arată că îți pasă.
That kid's adorable.
Yeah, he was.
Well, I gotta bounce.
Oh man! Well, thanks for joining us while you did.
Bounce like a ball.
Yes.
All right, well,
Thanks
bye,
for
guys.
joining us. I'll see you next time. Is there anything that you want to say before you go? You got the floor.
Shine bright. Don't be sad. You're all awesome.
Yeah. Happy
And yeah.
I'll
Bye.
see you later, boy. Thanks. Oh, she's fun.
What was the other video that unhealthy guy recommended?
Oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Yeah.
Let's check this out. So don't forget this. The server. Yeah. Well, I guess it's only a 4-minute long video, so we can watch that. Thanks. All right, let's check this out. I'm gonna mute us again.
Cerebral palsy is an umbrella term for a group of disorders that affects a person's ability to move. This means that not everyone with cerebral palsy looks the same. There is a meaningful future for every child, adolescent and adult living with cerebral palsy. For every person, there is a positive way forward through treatment and support provided in partnership with individuals and their families. Cerebral palsy is caused by an injury to the brain that usually happens during pregnancy, but sometimes it may happen shortly after birth. Cerebral palsy affects people in different ways because different parts of the brain can be injured. However, it always has some impact on the person's movements, and this is because the messages coming from the brain to the muscles are affected. Cerebral palsy is the most common physical disability in childhood, with 1 in 500 children born in Australia each year. Cerebral palsy affects people in different ways, and this is largely due to the location of the injury in the brain. Therefore, cerebral palsy is described in a number of ways, including the parts of the body affected and the way in which it affects movement. Where the whole body is affected, that is, both arms and legs and the trunk, this is called quadriplegia. Where both legs are mainly affected, this is called diplegia. People with diplegia often also have difficulties with fine movements of their hands. When one side of the body is affected, for example the left arm and the left leg, this is called hemiplegia. The next way of describing cerebral palsy is to talk about the way it affects movement and the type of movement difficulties experienced by people with cerebral palsy. Spasticity is probably the most commonly known term. Spasticity is present in about 86% of people with cerebral palsy. It results in muscles that become stiff and tight, which can make it difficult for someone with spasticity to use their muscles easily. It is difficult for someone with spasticity to turn their muscles on and off when they want to. This makes it difficult for them to move their arm or leg to do a task, or to use their mouth and face muscles to eat and talk. Some people have a little bit of spasticity, other people have a lot. The impact of spasticity on movement will therefore vary enormously between individuals. You might also have heard the terms dystonia or athetosis. Dystonia and athetosis describe movements seen in dyskinetic forms of cerebral palsy. Dyskinetic or dyskinesia refers to movements that are involuntary. These involuntary movements can become more noticeable when a person tries to move or when they become excited, agitated or tired. Dystonia results in unusual twisting postures, repetitive movements or sometimes both. Dystonia can present in one part of the body, such as an arm or foot, or throughout the whole body. With athetosis, we see slow, continuous involuntary writhing movements that are present at rest and made worse by attempts to move. Around 6% of people with cerebral palsy have dyskinesia, with dystonia more common than athetosis. One of the less common forms of cerebral palsy is ataxia. Ataxia means without order or incoordination. Ataxic movements are characterised by clumsiness, imprecision or instability. Movements are not smooth and may appear disorganised or jerky. The incoordination seen with ataxia occurs when a person attempts to perform voluntary movements such as walking or picking up objects. Ataxia causes an interruption of muscle control in the arms and legs, resulting in a lack of balance and coordination. Sometimes people have a mixed type of cerebral palsy. For example, some people have both spasticity and dystonia.
Okay, now we're unmuted. Thank you for sharing that video. That was really informative.
Yeah.
I learned some things about cerebral palsy that I didn't know before.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was
so many different types.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. That's interesting. Yeah.
And that also goes to EDS. There's
the ad?
multiple
Yeah.
forms of EDS.
I was wondering what you were laughing about. Yeah, I've got voice me. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. I've got voice meter banana. So like at the top of the program where you'd like grab it with your mouse to move it around. If I click on it, it'll open a link. So that's what happened.
Weird.
Yeah. So that was annoying. Pretty sure my sister had that. Oh, the cerebral palsy. Yeah, with the are you talking about your sister, the one that had the seizure? Like, sorry about that again. That's tragic. But yeah, so what haven't we covered yet? I want to show off my meds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get my pill box. Cause I'm actually late. 40 minutes to take my
I didn't know I was gonna be gone for so long, or I would have brought mine.
Shoot, what do you need to take? I might have it.
I take gabapentin and tramadol.
I do not have those. You should always. All right, big tip for any of you out there that have any sort of rare condition where you have to take medications. Take them with you when you leave the house.
I need to get a pendant, like a locket.
I have something to give you.
A big locket that I can put around my neck, because it is so hard to take my pills, because I never know if I'm gonna have my purse, because I.
Oh. Do you have something to keep your pills in your purse? 'Cause if not, you can have those.
Yeah, I have little pop ones from
okay.
Kroger, but I wanted to make it have a pendant.
That way you always
around my neck.
Yeah,
Yes.
That way. That's a good idea too, though.
I take gabapentin and tramadol 3 times a day. Once a day, 3 times a day.
Well, go ahead and list off all the pills that you take, and then we'll do me, and then I'll show mine off while I'm talking about it.
Well, I take a lot of vitamins. And
same here too, because I'm
I
deficient
take
in those.
iron,
which is
B12.
something that's really common if you've got a
Yeah.
chronic illness or disorder like ours. You're probably deficient in a lot of vitamins and stuff too.
B12, iron, because I'm anemic. Calcium pills. Melatonin for night.
Melatonin.
Yes.
Yes.
Gotta have that melatonin. I take some stomach pills because I have acid reflux, or whatever you want to call it. I take 2 different types of like antidepressant / like anxiety reliever. But yeah, mostly vitamins and stuff. And I'm now taking a hair, skin, and nail supplement since nails are breaking.
Yeah, because you got brittle nails because of the POTS?
My EDS.
EDS, okay. Yeah. It's so hard to remember what causes what.
The collagen is what makes up pretty much everything. Like your big cluster of collagen.
Collagen is the carbon of the body.
And water and salt and whatever else. But collagen is the makeup of your body. And it's not that I don't have enough of it. It's messed up. That's what it is. It's kind of like how you make dough. It's like the gluten in the dough.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't have good enough gluten, it's not going to stretch and make the bread fluffy.
Right.
And airy.
Yeah, so you gotta have that collagen.
Yes, you gotta have that collagen. And, but my hair falls out a lot, like I said, and, it can, for everyone, they shouldn't, take showers, like, wash your hair every day. I go around 3 to 4 days without washing my hair.
Because of the follicles falling out. Yeah,
yes.
That makes sense. Otherwise, you'd be bald.
Yes. But I do have real thick hair, and it's nice and healthy. I've never bleached or dyed my hair before. I tried doing it, but some people with EDS, it's hard for the dye to stick to the hair.
Oh, okay, that's interesting because I get it.
Yeah. But my nails peel, they break. They're nice and healthy.
But that's what you take all the extra vitamins for.
That's why I'm taking
some of the vitamins.
The
hair. Yeah. The hair, skin,
I just
and nail
started a
supplements.
couple days ago.
Oh, I hope it works. Good luck.
I hope it does too. Which I got fake nails on right now. I've been doing them so.
Unhealthy guy says I take 4 to 6 painkillers a day because my back hurts and I have headaches a lot. Is that because of your Noonan syndrome that you were talking about?
Yeah, that's probably why. Cause,
and Jane said Cushing's and hypopit ruined my muscles. Very painful. The muscle weakness is no joke.
Cushing's disease is
being
pretty
hypopit.
bad.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jane. Is it kind of like MS?
Cushing's disease is the exact opposite of the adrenal insufficiency that I have. It's where you have too much cortisol.
Oh, okay.
So what that can cause is like you'll get like the moon face, like your face is gonna get all poofy, your skin will get poofy, you'll get like you can get visible stretch marks.
Yeah.
And it can cause it can kill you too.
Unhealthy guy said I had back nuts.
Like ouch. But yeah, back to talking about those pills.
Yeah.
It's actually time. It's dinner time for me. I can show off.
You want to go get something to eat after? Oh my God! Freaking horse pills.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna show off for the stream, you guys. Check this out. See this? I'm gonna swallow this all in one go.
I'm pretty good at swallowing pills. If I don't take something like before or after, like eat something before or after, definitely
I'm trained.
Before. Yeah, I'm trained too. I'm a dog. We're friends.
Now, a lot of those were vitamins that I have to take because with my condition, my body doesn't absorb calcium like it should.
Mine doesn't either.
A couple of those big pills were plant sterols because my cholesterol's through the roof. But then I had my vitamin D and estradiol and B12 supplement in there too.
Oh yeah, that's also what I take is vitamin D because I've always been vitamin D and calcium deficient.
This is my afternoon dose that I was just talking about.
Because
and I just took my evening dose that just has hydrocortisone and these. Anyway, sorry, go.
Our bodies doesn't cling on to all the vitamins and stuff. So, but yeah. By the time I had surgery, I actually became quite wasted.
Pencil arms. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when your adrenals are messed up, like you're...
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's almost 5 already.
Gosh.
Man.
We've been on stream almost 3 hours.
It's been a lot of fun talking about this, though.
It has.
One thing that I really wanted to discuss before this is over is when we were talking about, invisible illness before, we were saying, when you got out of the car, when you get out of the handicap spot and you're afraid of people judging you because of your weight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty big myself too.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh only 195, but I should be a lot lower than that.
Toward doctors, I'm
listed.
I'm severe overweight.
Oh, hey, hold a second. Waco! Hi, Waco! He's my friend. We're doing a special Rare Disease Day stream talking about rare diseases for Rare Disease Day to spread awareness. I've got rare diseases. She's got rare diseases. We're talking about the weight part of it right now. So sorry, go on.
In August, I weighed 418. And that's when I was very depressed back then. Even in high school, I was really depressed. Not to the point of, like, hurting myself, but, like, just down in dumps real bad.
Right, no motivation.
And she knows, but I take care of my grandparents. My grandpa had a botched surgery in 2015, early 2015. So I was still in high school. I had to watch their house for almost a year. So I graduated in their house. I was back and forth to my parents' house, which they don't really live that far together.
Yeah, they're pretty close together.
Yeah, it's only like 5-minute drive.
Yeah.
So I was really bad in high school, but I only weighed probably like 350 in high school. And when I was helping them out now, and after I got my driver's license, I was able to go eat, do what I want, hang out with whoever I want, which, I mean, come on, like...
It's just gonna get out of the house.
I only have 2, like, close friends. You and my friend Charlotte. But my weight really got worse when I was helping them out. And I really went downhill with my weight.
Sure. And, I mean, a lot of that has to do with
and my health.
Chronic conditions, though. Because it's, with your EDS, it's damn near impossible for you to work out because of
when I'm hurting,
Yeah, because you're constantly dealing with pain, and when you can't just, like, go on a treadmill and walk for an hour because your knees might pop out of place, you know?
The constant, the repetition exercising, I can't do.
Waco, I'll answer your question here in a second.
And the repetition stuff, it hurts. It hurts really bad. So,
and that's like the repetitive exercises are what people use to lose weight most of the time.
Yes.
Right.
It's called what you're thinking. It's called HIIT. High intensity training. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah. No, I can't.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Because of my POTS. I could pass out.
Yeah.
And being on a treadmill, no way. I do not want to do that. I will pop something.
Yeah, Waco, she's got something called EDS, which we talked about it a lot earlier in the stream. I highly recommend going back, and I'm gonna make a bunch of highlights of the stream, like kind of highlighting the different conditions and stuff. But pretty much her joints could pop out of place at any moment.
Yeah.
So that makes it hard for her to work out.
Yeah.
In my case, really quick to answer your question, you said, is there statistics on the rarity of your illness? In my case, with my septo-optic dysplasia, with all three indicators of it, the panhypopituitarism, optic nerve hypoplasia, and missing septum pellucidum, which is the membrane that's like in between the right and left hemispheres of your brain. That only affects 30% of the 1 in 50,000 births. That is the instances of septo-optic dysplasia. I'm not sure what the instance is for EDS. Do you know it?
It's so rare. I mean, your next door neighbor could have it, and
you wouldn't know because it's hard to get diagnosed.
It's hard because
it's underdiagnosed.
Yes, it is very underdiagnosed because of the awareness of it. I mean, nobody knows. Not a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
I'm glad my family knew when we did. I was getting right into middle school. My brother, he was in high school already. So, he was a freshman in high school and I was in 7th grade. So, yeah, it was it was hard mentally thinking about having such a weird, like, rare thing.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, it's just really isolating because other people, you don't think,
yeah,
they don't know what it is.
And
being in
being in such a small town, like, how many people is, like, 2,000?
Let me look up our population. Yeah.
Like 2,000?
Yeah, while you're talking about it, I'll look up the population.
But in town, I only know one person, and that was Void. And I didn't know her until, like...
We have 321,000. Oh, wait, never mind. Hold on a minute. I should probably specify which which state.
Indiana.
Yeah. 26,209 people, which is really low.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you were saying.
But being in such a small town and being in middle school, knowing that you only have your family, it was really hard back then.
Yeah, it's super. And in my case, like, no, because my condition isn't genetic, none of my family members have it. So as I was growing up as a kid, I felt like such an oddity.
And I felt even odder because of my brain thing that happened.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And then
Hello, cold anus. Thanks for joining us.
I had depression when I was little, but that's a whole...
Yeah, but back on the topic of weight, though, and how hard it is to keep weight off, because it's so hard for us to exercise, like in your case because of the hypermobility.
Yes.
And in my case because of the adrenal insufficiency.
Yeah.
It could be life-threatening for me. I can walk on a treadmill for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I do. I walk on a treadmill, I work on a bike.
Yeah.
But I can't work out for very long, and some days I just don't have the physical strength to do it at all.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I can only do so much at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with my knees. My knees, they hyperextend, so biking's hard. Walking on a treadmill is kind of weird with my POTS. It's the unstable ground feeling. Like, when you get in, like, an elevator and it goes down and then it jumps back up, that's how I feel when I'm on
a treadmill. Oh, that's interesting. Huh.
And it messes with it. And people with vertigo, that's, like, the closest you can get with my POTS.
I get vertigo sometimes with my optic nerve hypoplasia and the adrenal insufficiency can sometimes cause it.
You kind of
so I understand that
get
feeling.
the feeling of it. The passing out, probably not, but the passing out with the POTS is very weird.
You want to describe how that feels, if you can.
It's like being high.
Explain that for people who have never been high before. You poor souls. I'm kidding. I've only ever been high once, and that was on accident from Sudafed.
So you get, like, I get itchy, and I feel like I want to, like, rip my clothes off because I get so hot. because my blood pressure is plummeting. And it feels like you're going into a dark room, just your eyes. Like, it's very weird. It's very weird. But you can hear everything. It's like having these on. Your hearing's muffled. You're so exhausted.
Your vision narrow. You
Yes.
kind of get that tunnel vision where it kind of goes black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's easier to just close your eyes and just let it happen. Letting it happen is better than not having it happen. You don't have to fight it. Fighting it makes it worse.
What do you do in that case? You just sit down and
Yeah.
just let it pass?
If I would be out and about, I would just lay on the ground. That's what most people do, is just lay on the ground.
Do people freak out when you do that?
I think
I can't imagine seeing somebody react.
Yeah,
to that.
probably. I mean, the where I got my ears pierced, we were related. The people that did
pierced your ears?
Yes.
Oh man, I bet they freaked out
like,
when you passed out like that.
Long lost cousin type thing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
On my grandparents' side. So they was like freaking out, like, oh my god, I hurt somebody.
Oh, no.
like even though like I asked for it,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
But it feels like you're going through a tunnel, like having something over your ears. It's like you can hear stuff, but it's like echoing. And it's hard to speak, so you like try not to speak, but like you're passing out or starting to.
Right.
And people's like, "Are you okay? What can I do for you?" Especially when I do blood work and stuff. They're like, "What do you need?" And I'm just, "Give me my water." When I got my blood work done, I drank most of this. This is a 40-ounce bottle, and I drank the whole thing when I did that. When I had my POTS episode.
Damn. Alright, Waco says, okay, real question now. Does the concept of rare diseases manifest itself in your D&D game? I love this question. Thank you. Actually, it hasn't. I haven't brought it into my D&D game, but I should. Now, if I ever do like a D&D stream, because I'm considering DMing a game eventually. That's dungeon mastering for you non-nerd. Yeah. I'm thinking about running a game on my Twitch channel eventually, and if I do, I might bring something like that into it to kind of help spread awareness a little bit. I don't want to make it forefront of the game, just kind of, if I did it, I'd want to make it kind of nuanced. That way it doesn't seem like attention grabby. Because I want to educate people, but I don't want to seem like I'm trying to get attention or pity.
Yeah.
Oh god, are there muggles in the stream? Katrina's learning. I'm slowly starting to corrupt her. Unhealthy guy, by the way, you can call me Casper. Casper! You're my friendly ghost friend.
The unhealthy guy, the ear, like having like packed ear, like having like headphones on, that's how I feel when I like start to pass out. It's just a very weird feeling. Like, I wouldn't ask for anybody
I almost passed out once when I had my first adrenal crisis and they were
Yeah.
drawing blood at the same time.
Yeah.
My vision got dark.
Oh my god. Ugh.
I started to kind of fade and I said, I think I'm going to pass out.
My-
And they had me lay down and it went away.
My face goes white.
Lips go blue, you said?
Yep, my lips go blue. Last time the nurse, the person that drew my blood, the vampire, she's real good friends with my my grandma, so she knew everything. Like I told her before, and when it was happening, she's like, "Your lips turning blue, girl." And I'm like, "Yeah, that happens."
Oh, it's just normal, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, Waco used to be a phlebotomist.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. I hope you were good at it, because I've had some sucky phlebotomists in my day.
Sucky.
Ouch! I didn't even realize I was making a pun at the time, but that was
You're
good catch.
punny.
I'm accidentally punny sometimes.
Yeah. The nurse was really scared when
She saw my blood pressure got so got to go home, and I passed out when I came home. Yikes! That does sound scary. Damn.
it is not fun passing out.
Mm.
It feels like you've been up for like 48 hours and you're exhausted and you just want to close your eyes, and when you're the only one that drove to the place that you got your blood drawn, you get freaked out a little bit. I've called my parents one time when I had to get my blood work done, and I had to have my dad drive me home with my grandma's car.
Waco says, I worked exclusively with cancer and hematology patients, so their veins were knackered. So he knew how to look for them.
Yeah, that's one thing with my EDS too. My veins,
they roll around and they're like...
My veins pop and they roll.
Yeah.
And they're not very good. They usually have to do it in my hand, which hurts like it.
And yeah, you gotta watch your tongue, because this is a family-friendly stream today. But I know what you were gonna say. Yes.
It hurts more than the arm. Like, I got big freaking blood vessels in my feet. Like, do my feet, please.
Just stick it in my foot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Heck, my veins pop really good in my feet.
Do they?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I mean, I've got like...
I got sucky.
There's the one that they like the best.
Yeah.
The phlebotomist like the best is if I can...
That's a nice blue vein.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that little guy right there. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. Then he was. Yes.
Yes.
Jane.
Okay, you know what time it is? It's 5:05. We've been streaming since 2 p.m. That's 3 hours for Rare Disease Day.
Yep.
And
it's worth it though.
Yo, shoot, we had a lot of fun today. I think this was a really informative stream.
Yep.
We covered a lot of great topics. Thank you everybody for stopping by.
Does anybody have?
Oh yeah, please
any more
ask questions. Yes, questions
for
Q&A.
Any of us?
Please.
I'm pretty skilled in the nurse and.
Yeah, I've been advocating for my
department.
condition for years now, so I'm really well educated on the panhypopituitarism, septoptic dysplasia, optic nerve hypoplasia, adrenal insufficiency. I can answer all your questions.
My mom was a at-home nurse for a quadriplegic. I grew up around her doing that, so I'm A-okay in that department. and
oh,
helping,
Waco, thank you for the bits.
And helping with my grandparents. Having PICC lines and feeding tubes and drain tubes and a wound vac.
Tubes. All those tubes.
Yeah.
That sounds unpleasant.
I'm glad I was born into this world of medical
oddities. I have a question for you, actually.
Yeah.
And I'll answer this question too. What is the weirdest thing about your condition that most people probably wouldn't think about? Just a random weird fact. Maybe it doesn't affect your life a whole lot, but just something really strange your condition does.
I guess the brain fog.
Yeah, I understand that. I get that way too. Because
I do weird things when I have bad brain fog.
What do you like? What?
This morning, actually. This morning, I almost put the milk in the cabinet.
Oh shoot! I've done that before.
Doing that kind of stuff.
I put my phone in the dishwasher once.
Oh my god!
When my brain fog was really bad from my steroids. Yes.
Oh my god. The brain fog. This is getting off topic, but. With the meds that I'm on, the pain meds, I get real bad constipation.
Oh man, that sucks.
But I also have, Yeah, the IBS.
Oh,
so,
hey, that was a good guess.
Yeah.
All right.
So I can have freaking constipation one day and freaking diarrhea the next.
Oh, that sucks.
And I've always had that. I don't know if that's a part of what I have, or it's like
Unhealthy
on
guy
its
searched
own.
20 minutes for his phone while talking on it.
Yes, Waco. Yes.
Don't get Waco started on poop. He'll never shut up.
Don't have a conversation with my niece about poop.
Oh, why?
Oh my god.
Is she afraid of poop?
No,
she likes to talk about poop? Let's talk about poop for the next 20 minutes.
She picked up a rat one time, a dead rat.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Okay, what does this have to do with poop?
Any kind of like nasty stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
I see. I get what you're saying. What do you do to offset it? Keep hydrated, high fiber diet?
Well, I keep hydrated because I have to.
Yeah.
Because my pots. But I try to keep high fiber diet, yeah. And dealing with the bad stuff because I had with my brain issue I had when I was a kid, I had bad like problems with constipation. So this is like the bad side of when I was growing up. I had to get a lot of surgeries to deep pack my bowels.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
gotcha. Because you had like impacted.
Yes.
Oh, gross. Gross and painful.
To the point of like infection. Not infection, but like what's it called when you like brain fog.
Sepsis?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Yikes.
I had a fever and it just that's how bad it was when I was a kid. So my bowels and my bowel
my bowels
is good now, but yeah.
Unhealthy guy says when I get a checkup they need my blood for the most part. Samesies every 4 months. 4 to 6 months. So I have 4 places numb because my veins are so easy to break due to me having a lot of checkups. Ow, that stinks.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm actually surprised I don't have issues like that.
Yeah, I'm not that what's it called? Like I don't go to the doctor that much. I don't need to.
You don't have to have regular checkups like that? Like once a year maybe?
With my EDS, you just have to deal with it.
Oh,
Pain
I guess that
meds.
makes sense. The reason I have to go see a doctor so often is because my hormones need to be checked on because they fluctuate.
With my EDS, I don't have to deal with that much stuff.
Right, because it's consistent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go to a pain management doctor every whatever and make sure I get my pain meds.
Okay, I've got a question for you after I answer Waco's question.
Yeah.
So I'll come around to that. What's the deal with high blood pressure versus these brain conditions? Elderly people are at risk from stroke due to raised blood pressure during the straining on the loo. Is that something you have to worry about? Actually, with
I don't have to.
With my adrenal insufficiency, my biggest risk is actually low blood pressure, because my body doesn't produce cortisol.
Yeah.
Cortisol regulates your blood pressure, and if you don't have the cortisol when you need it, your blood pressure will drop, and that's what can cause the adrenal crisis. I've had 2 adrenal crises in my life. They can be life-threatening. Luckily, I got treatment for both of them, so I'm still alive. Surprise, I'm not a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have any issues with blood pressure? High blood pressure?
Not high blood pressure. When I wasn't on my meds, I did have problems with high blood pressure, but now it's like under control. But your question for elderly people that has high risk of stroke on the toilet, it's the straining and it's when the blood vessels can actually like burst, and then that can cause a stroke because of straining and stuff. That can also cause it can the thing that also can cause it is sex, exercise,
Sexercise.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry, I'm a dork.
Getting your blood pressure or your heart rate high. I mean, it's always gonna cause something to go wrong with elderly not just
people.
elderly people, but people that are unhealthy, that's at risk of any type of thing.
Right. Sure.
And that's when people have to go to the doctor and talk to him and say, hey,
fix me, doc.
Yeah.
I'm broken. Jane says that she has to go to the doc every 3 months, which makes sense for
Yeah.
Cushing's.
Yeah.
For sure. And, okay, so my question for you, when you were talking about your pain meds, I know that recently doctors and pharmaceutical companies have really been cracking down on the amount of prescriptions allowed for pain meds. Has that affected you yet?
Yeah, I guess.
Has
I
it
mean,
made it harder for you to get your pain meds?
it's
Because she
not that,
needs them for EDS.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can actually do to.
Do you get like the opiates?
No.
Okay, so you don't get opioids.
The only thing I get is tramadol, which is a higher power of tramadol.
Oh, okay. Does it seem to do the job well enough for you?
If I do the stuff that I need to do, like going to the chiropractor. I haven't went to the chiropractor in like 3 weeks, which is bad for me. 3 to 4 weeks is like really bad. I go tomorrow, so but that helps with my spine. Like
right, with the pain,
yes.
like getting you realigned and stuff.
Yeah, realignment with my spine and my neck, especially because all the stress. It helps a lot. But the
Hi, Dova. Or Shell.
The pain meds that I take, the gabapentin helps with the aches, pains. It's kind of like Lyrica. It's supposed to help with your sugar, or it's supposed to help with depression, or it can help with, what in my case, my fibromyalgia on top of the EDS, which it helps with everything. And then the tramadol, it helps with my pain also.
So how about that medical marijuana? Get you some of that.
I wish I could.
Legalize it. Seriously.
I actually
it would help with a lot of my problems too.
Yeah. Well, with your insomnia and stuff.
Yeah. With my actually, come to find out, I've been learning through my. I'm in a group for Adrenal Insufficiency United, which is they talk about adrenal issues. It can actually help with my adrenal insufficiency, like a lot of the symptoms that I deal with that.
Yeah.
If you use it responsibly, I'm not saying that I want to be high all the time. I do not.
But some people can't deal with the highness.
Yeah, I don't know if eventually it's going to be legalized, and then I'll get to try it. I don't know how I'm going to handle the THC, but hopefully it'll be something that'll really help, because it seems like a wonder drug, because there are so few side effects from it. The only side effect that you'd really get is, that feeling of being high.
Yeah.
Now, if you overuse it, if you're not responsible with it, it can cause memory issues.
Yeah.
But I don't plan on using it to that extent. I just want the medication. Please legalize it so I can sleep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It can also cause more issues with people who have anxiety or
Waco, it's not legalized federally in the United States. Some states have it legalized, but it's not in Indiana.
Colorado,
Ohio, Illinois, Michigan got it.
California.
There are quite a few. Look it up and Google it. You can see how many states have it legalized. But even if it's legalized at the state level, it's still illegal on the federal level. So the DEA could come in and crack down on some of the dispensaries.
So we can't move it to California to like Kansas. Like you can't do that.
No, you can't. That's totally illegal.
Especially if you're on an airport. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, and the thing that really stinks is because marijuana is listed as a Schedule 1 drug, just like heroin, which is freaking stupid. If you have a dispensary for medical marijuana that's legal in your state, you can't have a bank account for it.
Yeah.
Because it's illegal federally. So they have to deal exclusively in cash, which means since they are dealing in cash, the money from taxes are not being circulated back into the economy.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid. Legalize it, for God's sake. Sorry to keep coming back to poop. I used to work with a lot of palliative cancer patients. New research indicates the majority of general pain is actually referred pain caused by constipation, something which is common considering how much pain medication they're on. Yeah, pain medication, opiates. One of the side effects.
Yes, is constipation.
They constipate you. Yes.
Yep.
Also, Waco said earlier, parts of the diseases that affect the brain, do they weaken the blood vessels in the brain? I don't think our conditions that we have really affect blood vessels. Mine just
does.
affects the pituitary gland. Oh, what does it do?
Well,
yeah, cannabis does not have any constipating side effects. Exactly. It's freaking good medicine. Legalize it, for God's sake.
My EDS weakens the veins, arteries. That's dang it. Look it up.
Look it
up.
What am I looking up?
The types of EDS. There's, I don't know how many types there are.
We'll look it up.
I have type 2, which is the hypermobility. I think that's the best type you could actually have. There's a lot.
Holy crap, there is a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's classic EDS.
Yep.
There's classical like EDS.
Yes.
Whatever that means. Cardiac vascular EDS, which would affect the veins.
Yes, that's like one of the worst because you might.
Yes, legalize it. Thank you, Waco.
Yeah. I think that's like that could be part of like mine, but like I don't think it is. But it can.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring this list.
It affects the collagen. Collagen's what makes us us.
Give me a second to fix this. You can go ahead and keep talking.
And if it messes up the arteries, the veins, that's what it is. That's what I hate these messes with your heart. So, but if you have POTS, it can also mess with your heart. So, that's what makes me pass out. The different types of EDS.
All the different types of EDS. Yes.
The hypermobility EDS is what I have. There are so many types.
Yeah, there's crap. Gosh dang, there's so. How do you even say that?
The first list is what you need to go off of.
Yes. Yeah. This column right here.
No.
Oh wait.
Up more.
Up. This?
Yep.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay. Classical EDS. Yes, for hypermobility. Yes. Oh man, I don't even know how to pronounce a lot of these things. I like to think I'm okay with English.
Type 1, Type 2, Type 3. How doctors and us we class of what's it called? How we say it as is EDS type 2.
Oh, EDS type 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But you can also have multiple of them.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
That would stink. Can you imagine having all of those? You'd probably just be dead.
Yeah, close to it because it can cause you have heart problems, kidney problems, the insulin problems, the pancreas, and it can also have really bad effect on the stomach. And of course your ears. That's one thing that I was always worried about when we found out was my ears, my hearing.
If you're afraid that you're going to lose it?
Yeah.
The thing that I worry about with my optic nerve hypoplasia is that I might eventually go blind, which is an actual risk for me, which sucks because I'm an artist, you guys.
Yeah.
Shit. But I mean, my vision's okay right now. It does suck to think about, but eventually, if it does happen, if I do go blind, over time, I think I'll make peace with that.
We were always worried
At least
about.
I have a heads up.
Yeah, we were always worried about my brother and my vision.
Because of your
and
retinal.
our holes and our tears. Just because.
Oh, sorry, unhealthy guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and reply to you really quick. Am I gonna stream tomorrow? He's talking because he's taking off. You know what? I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow or not because I didn't get my day off today. I actually woke up and then remembered that it was Rare Disease Day, so I decided to do this stream.
I didn't know until you told me.
Yeah, but tomorrow, just keep an eye on the Discord and on my Twitter. I'll let you know if I decide to stream or not tomorrow. It could be 50-50, yes or no. Well, we'll see what I decide to do. But thank you for stopping by. It was good to see you. We'll take care. Anyway, Jane's journey, is EDS considered rheumatological, like arthritis?
I have arthritis and the EDS. The EDS can cause
Oh, you're gonna go to bed too, Waco? Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, bye.
Good to see you. We'll be ending the stream soon too, but I'll see you later.
It can cause you to have any kind of arthritis, the rheumatoid,
osteoporosis, osteopenia. I've got the high risk of that too, which is why I have to take those giant calcium horse pills every day. I also have that risk of developing arthritis because of my conditions as well. Which sucks.
Lucky Kitty, 123, I think.
Was that your?
Or I don't know.
Oh,
I can't remember.
She doesn't stream anyway.
No, I don't stream.
She only has her account to stalk me, I think.
Huh?
I think you only have your account to stalk me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do all the games and stuff with you guys. Yeah.
Yes, so that she can play Jackbox. Yeah. But thank you. Yeah, Lucky Kitty 123 is your name on there, I think.
I think so. Yeah. That or the Katrina Loves Cyanotic or something.
I don't know if you've seen her or not. It's possible, but I don't think so actually. Joan Arc, clearly a great use of a Twitch account. Thank you to stalk me. Goodbye, unhealthy guy. Thank you for stopping by. Robin, you missed I don't know if you've been coming or going or lurking or what, but we had a really good stream today.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining me. You made the stream a whole lot better because we could bounce off each other.
Yep. And I'm glad that
Katrina.
Yeah.
I'm glad Katrina was here. Carletta. Yeah, I'm glad Boyd joined us too for a little bit. That was nice.
It was nice to have both sides of the EDS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's weird that she doesn't have POTS.
Maybe she does and it's just not diagnosed yet.
It's hard to diagnose because like I told you when I was about 3 or 4, when I was in therapy one day, they thought I had a episode of they thought I had what she has.
Oh, the HS?
No.
Oh, the epilepsy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They thought I had a
epileptic seizure?
Yeah.
Damn.
They thought I had a seizure when I was in a
having a POTS episode?
Yeah.
Damn.
But we don't know if it was a POTS episode or if it was a seizure or not. They say sometimes in growing kids, sometimes the brain can stop for a second. That's why I stare off a lot. People that's watching the stream, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking everywhere else because
I do that too.
That's how I think better.
Yeah.
And
I kind of focus on a random point in the distance.
Yeah, that's how I talk.
Yeah.
Is to just stare
I just think making eye contact is weird, so I just look elsewhere. Robin said, "Yeah, sorry I missed it, but I had class till about 20 minutes ago, but glad to hear it went well." Well, thank you for coming back. Yeah,
you can always rewatch it.
Yeah, feel free to go back and watch the archive.
Yep.
It'll be up in a minute. And I'm going to upload it to YouTube too, because it's been awesome. This has been a really good stream.
Yes. And I think a lot of people that are getting diagnosed with EDS, POTS, what you have.
Panhypopituitarism, septoptic dysplasia, and optic nerve hypoplasia.
And
adrenal insufficiency.
And everything else that we kind of
discussed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll help them and
yeah, that's what advocacy is all about.
Yep.
Spread that awareness.
Yep.
Yes. Well, anyway, again, happy Rare Disease Day, everybody.
Yep.
Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
I'm glad that we were able to answer some questions, spread awareness, watch some really great videos, read that really good article.
Yep.
It's been good.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're going to go ahead and end it now.
And Mighty.
Oh, the
You're
Mighty.
amazing.
Shout out to the Mighty. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I don't know if I've told you guys or not yet, but I've been published on the Mighty twice now.
She has a really good article.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got a lot more articles on my website, too.
Yeah.
Where I blog about my chronic conditions. It's insomniadoodles.com if you want to check it out. Jane, thank you for stopping by. You were great. I'm glad that you were able to stop by and join us.
Had good questions, yep.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I'll see you around. Okay, cool. I'm really bad at signing off, so I'm just gonna say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Hello, and again, welcome to the Aperture Science Computer Aided Enrichment Center. We hope your brief detention in the relaxation vault has been a pleasant one. Your specimen has been processed, and we are now ready to begin the test proper. Before we start, however, keep in mind that although fun and learning are the primary goals of all enrichment center activities, serious injuries may occur. For your own safety and the safety of others, please refrain from por favor, por donde front back. Please place the weighted storage cube on the 1500 megawatt Aperture Science heavy duty super colliding super button.